Yo, like, subscribe, follow, giddy up.
Hi, folks. Bob Mallory here.
Bob.
You're listening to...
Happens to the best of us. Try to get
my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they did it! They did it!
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah! What the fuck are you talking about?
Hi, folks. Bob Mallory here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. This is A2D Wednesday night. We're brought to you now on a Tuesday night, just for this week. We'll be back to their regular scheduled programming next week. So a little special edition. Welcome in. Every show on Wednesday, now Tuesday, is brought to you by the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. And we know many of us and our families deal with mental health and addiction issues. We are happy to support the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. If you need help, please call 856-651-8117. Packed house tonight. Tom Arnone, Ryan Broder, Ralph Delvecchio, Greg Mocklick, Nate Moss, Noah Eaton, Frank Vespi. You know, you're going to start losing your voice. That's how many people you got to say. I'm losing my voice. We'll go around the Philly sports scene last in the show where we get to every team, okay? So we'll go get into our Eagles, we'll get into our Phillies, we'll get into our Flyers talk. NBA All-Star selections, okay? And there's a couple guys out there, East and West, that you're like, whoa, didn't make it this year. So we'll dive into it. Some snubs. There may be some snubs, they like to say. We'll have Sixers Raptors postgame, live reactions, and our poll question, which is brought to you by Body Check Wellness. And you can use the promo code A2D and get yourself 20% off at checkout. BodyCheckWellness.com, promo code A2D for 20% off at checkout. Body Check Wellness, a line of products that promote wellness, balance, recovery, by using the full potential of hemp. So you can get them in gummies, extracts, everything. So go check them out. BodyCheckWellness.com is where you can find them. Our poll question, the Sixers will finish with a 500 record on the road this season. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Like, subscribe, follow, download. Join the conversation tonight. The poll, the Sixers will finish with a 500 record on the road this season. Remember the struggles last year. All right, and the year before, because there's big-time struggles, and now they're up 10 on the road right now. I mean, so listen, 8 minutes ago, this is money time. We'll get into live reactions right at a commercial break right now. So remember the struggles that this basketball team faced on the road in years past, and not just struggles, like downright atrocious, like not good enough. Like, who is this team? I mean, they were a tale of two teams, right? A team that played at home and a team that was on the road. At home, they could beat anybody, anytime. On the road, they flat out stunk. Carried it to the bubble, stunk. And now this year, 7-9 on the road right now. Okay? So, I mean, 100 times better already on the road than they were just a year ago. Okay? And that's easy to do because, I mean, last year you stunk. But you always want to be like a 500 team on the road if you know you take care of your business at home. I think this is a different basketball team than last year. It's obvious just by an eye test. Okay? If you got a pair of binoculars and you put them on and you actually watch the games, you're going to tell me it's a different team than last year. People tell me the record's similar, you know, overall and A, B, C, and D. It's a different basketball team than it was a year before. And you've seen progression out of your two stars, okay, more than you saw from any year throughout this process, per se, right? It's the most growth you've seen throughout the process from them two. So I'm going to say I agree that they do finish with over 500 record or right there. Right? I don't know if right there counts as agree, but I'll go right there or above because I think that's right around where they're going to be. So I'm going to disagree that they're going to be under 500. So they'll be 500 or above to me, and I feel confident in that, unlike years past. Now, you know, tonight's a big one, period, because you're talking about a team like Milwaukee that's playing better basketball. You're talking about the Nets that are playing that are playing hot. You're talking about the team you're playing right now. That's winners of 4 in a row. So you got a lot of basketball teams in the East starting to play to what we thought they would, right? Because we talked about it a million times that we thought the East was going to be extremely competitive. We haven't played the best basketball over our last 10. We're playing 500 basketball. So this is just a big one to get because I threw a lot of money on the Sixers tonight because to me, it's a game you're not going to lose. You're not. If you're playing them back-to-back. They just ate your lunch the 2 nights before. It's the NBA. Usually, if you're a good team, you come back and you give it to them a little bit the next night. And we're seeing that. They're still up 10. So they're still giving it to them a little bit. We'll see the last 8 minutes of this game. But I agree. I think it's a different basketball team. I couldn't be more ecstatic to turn on Sixers games than I have this year. And I love watching Sixers games. I'm an NBA junkie. So I love turning them on. But this year, it's just been a different year. Night in, night out, watching them. And even a night like tonight where Joel's been doubled, tripled, quadruple team, where you need other guys to step up. You've gotten that tonight. You've gotten a little taste of everybody else just doing their part. And that's what you have to do to be able to win on the road, especially when a team is going to try to take away your best player. And that's what we're watching. To me, that's a team that's going to finish 500 or better on the road and take care of their goddamn business at home like they have, and which is going to make them a 1 or 2 seed when this is all said and done. So I agree. We can circle it anyway you guys want to. A turnover. That's fun. So up 8. That's fun. That's fun. You know what, Ralph? You're a crumb. Go ahead.
All right, I'll go first out of this whole.
Circle the room from there. Swinging around.
I'll go ahead and I'll agree with this. I just think they're too good of a basketball team not to win, not to be over 500 on the road to end the year. I mean, you guys are 7-9 on the road already, so I mean you're right there flirting with 500. Obviously, Ben makes the All-Star team. Joel makes the All-Star team. We'll be getting to that later. But I think you have two great players on your team right now, and Toby as well. And was it a big 3 right there from the Sixers?
Big block by Joel, big 3 by Shake. Yeah, expect a point to everybody.
So I'm gonna go agree with this basketball team. They definitely finished over 500 to finish out the season on the road.
Yep.
And I also agree to the poll. I think the difference in Ben Simmons over the last 2-3 weeks allows me to agree to this poll with a level of confidence, right? I could agree to the poll and be a complete homer about it, right? But I think the difference in Ben Simmons, the aggressive switch that was turned, whether that was a slight from the trade, you know what I mean, having his name thrown out there a bunch in rumors, there's a different Ben Simmons playing right now. And then you also have to think we got about a month to the NBA trade deadline as well. You have to think that they're going to add at minimum a bench piece to help that second unit, to help the scoring off that second unit. So, yes, I'm going to agree. And, yes, tonight is a huge one to get there, to get us back to that point.
This is a team you just can't kill. Now it's 5, Ralph. To your point earlier, I don't know if you had a crystal ball, but now and the Raptors on a 14-3 run right now over the last 5 minutes. And this is where this is money time right here. So, love to have some guys paid a bunch like that guy and buries a 3 like Tobias. Need it. Let's go. Come on. This team you can't kill. The Raptors are just tough as nails. I don't give a shit who's playing. They're just built tough. They're built extremely tough. It's unbelievable how you can't kill them. Can't kill them. You just can't kill the Raptors.
And they're coached extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was about to say they have great coaching.
Yeah.
And Kyle Lowry's still not back for them, correct?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Go ahead, Frank, to the poll.
As of right now, I do agree to the poll. The second half of this NBA schedule is going to be coming out in a couple days, and from what I'm reading, there is going to be the possibility of back-to-back nights. Now, there is that concern of either sitting Joe and or Ben on a possible back-to-back night, and especially you're in the middle of a huge playoff push where you could get one of the top 2 seeds in the East. So I hope that the schedule kind of works out in our favor where we don't have to worry about the back-to-back nights on road games. And, I got to also factor the possibility of a trade. I think we can make a significant trade and bolster our bench and, get the job done. So I
Take your
definitely agree with the
fucking
poll.
free throws, Danny. Sorry. You
Finally
guys aren't making.
Finally got one of those.
You know what I mean? Guys aren't
I'm
making.
behind. Sorry.
Free. Sorry. I mean, I'm spoiled for you. I thought I gave it enough time there. 10 second delay. Sorry, Frank.
That's what happens when you got money on the line.
Well, they're free. They're free, Nate. They're free, Frank. I'm sorry for yelling over you. They're free. Thank you. 2 or 3. We'll take.
I mean, I already made my point, and yes, the turnovers have been god awful. So it's been frustrating, especially on what was it on Sunday where we lost to a guy named Ogugwa.
Yeah, he didn't miss.
Oh, wait, you mean this guy?
Yeah,
This
Ogugwa.
guy?
Yes,
Google?
Ogugwa.
Did not
We
miss.
lost to a guy named Ogugwa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me put this back over here.
Yeah, he didn't
And
miss.
if anyone doesn't know who that is, that's OG Adenobi's first name.
Yes.
His name's Ogugwa.
Ogugwa.
Was he 6 for 7 or 5 from 6 from 3? I feel like.
No, that was Chris
Yeah, that was
Boucher.
a
That
Chris
wasn't
Boucher. That was Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher. Oh man.
There's some turnover.
No.
I know.
Go ahead, Noah.
Yeah. I definitely think we finish above 500 on the road for the season. As a matter of fact, I think the aforementioned Kyle Lowry ends up in a Sixers uniform.
Wow.
I've seen that rumor. I don't know.
And here we are.
And here we go.
Yep.
I didn't bring up
Somebody
the
get
trades
the
this
machine
time.
out.
I didn't bring up
Somebody
the
get the
trades.
machine out.
I already saw how it's doable. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
I make the deal, but
How much money is he making? 30 million?
30 for 1 year. Yeah.
and he's 35.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, that's like really.
He's only 34. Come on.
Guess you're rounding down. All three.
Nate had enough. He's like,
He heard Kyle Lowry and bounced.
You're 30. You're 35, and said that's it.
Yep.
No, but you can't kill this team. It's unbelievable. They're just back in it again. They're
Yeah.
back in it again. I mean, listen, Joe struggled tonight, but I felt like he's gotten good looks. They just haven't gone in when he has shot. Even though his field goal percentage isn't 2 for 11, makes it look like an atrocious night, which it is. But I feel like he's gotten decent looks when he has gotten looks, right? So it's just part of the mind fuck that is double, triple, quadruple team.
And it makes it tough. So much of Joel's game, especially this year, has been in the block to where he gets to the free throw line, right? So many of his games, he's 15, 16 free throw attempts to where he might not be having a great game on the floor, but his free throws attempts get him the points and get the team the points. When Toronto is double, triple, quadruple teaming him sometimes, he's not even able to get set up right now to the point where he can get fouled.
Mm-hmm.
That was fucking weird. I'm just saying, kicked me out for some reason. I just dropped.
I thought you had to go grab another bottle.
No, we're still good, buddy. We're still good. I'm still going. Fuck that.
We thought Lowry triggered you.
yeah, we thought you heard Kyle Lowry. You're like, okay, screw this. I'm done.
No. My turn yet? Are you guys done?
Okay, you're good.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah. My turn. Yeah.
You're up.
I'm going to be the asshole. Hell no, we don't go over 500. You see where we are right now? We're 7-9 with no fans in the stands right now. And we got some bad losses, right? Some of them are legit. Like going to Utah, I think was one game. I was trying to find another game. I think we lost in Phoenix is legit. But we lost to like Detroit. Who's nobody, even the janitor's not watching the game in Detroit right now. You know what I'm saying? Like we got some bad losses on the road.
Yeah.
I think there is and it's interesting because we've been in the best top 3 home records for the last like year or two, or might even go longer than that. So it's really interesting how good and how well we play at home. I think we have the best record at home now in the league. If we're not there, we're in the top 3. So there's a real-time home advantage.
We are the best in the East at home, by the way.
Yeah. So on the road, I think there is a legit problem. I don't know what it is. I haven't caught personally enough games to see it, to see if I can see what's going on the road. But no, hell no, I disagree. We're gonna be under 500. We're gonna be 15-3 at home, but fucking 6-12 on the road. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Well, you should know better. You should know better than say bad losses on the road and say NBA in the same.
All right.
Know better. Yeah, everything else fine. You should know better on that one because I go over I can go circle every good NBA team and say bad loss on the road. Bad loss on the road. That boy shake and bake.
So to your point, Tom and Nate. So what I did, I just pulled up their record and let's see how many bad road losses they had. Okay, so their first road loss was against the Cavs. We all remember that. That wasn't fun at all.
Oh, that guy actually missed. Sorry, Boucher actually missed. Bobby.
Oh,
did he? All right.
Badly.
He missed and airballed. So about time he called.
Hey, Tom, let the man speak, man. I'm trying to hear his stats so he can make my point sound good. Jesus Christ, Tom. I understand you got money on the goddamn game. Relax.
Live reaction. What does it say? Live reaction to the game.
It's I-95 on traffic time. Right? It's I-95 at 4:30 in the afternoon on a Friday.
You can start hooting and hollering in the fourth quarter. All right.
This is the fourth quarter. There's 3 minutes and 48 seconds left in the game. What else is time to hoot and holler?
Is that Tom or is that Mark Zumoff?
Then their next road loss was against the Nets when that was the Seth Curry COVID game when we found out that he had COVID.
I still think the Nets is a good team, so I think that's a legit loss.
Mm-hmm. Also, Joel was off a back-to-back, and he was he was sleepwalking that game. Then the road loss against the Hawks, but again, that was when we had the COVID team.
Right? Yeah. I remember that.
Then a road loss against the Grizzlies.
That was. I would consider that a bad loss. That's a bad loss.
Yeah, that's a bad loss.
That's a bad loss. Despite who we had, you should beat the Grizzlies.
I would say our worst road loss was against the Pistons by 15 on the road off of a home and home.
Detroit and Memphis are your only two bad road losses.
Yeah, because I'm looking down here. We lost to the Trailblazers by 4 on the road. We lost to the Suns by 9 on the road. Lost to the Jazz by 11 on the road. That's the thing. We lost 3 straight games, all of them being on the road. So it's like, I'm not going to say if you take those out, we have a good record. But you look there, it's like, okay.
Well, 4 in a row on the road, really.
Well, we should beat Portland. Portland's not a good team.
And the way that game,
they're playing well now. They're playing well now, but they're not really a good team.
They're always good at home, though. They're always good at home. Because you got Dame at home. You get Dame at home, you go off for 40, and you lose a basketball game. You know what I mean?
But without McCullough there, you know what I mean? It's just Lillard. You know what I mean? We should, we're the best team in the East right now. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a question about that. And we should be able to beat the 7th worst team in the West. and I don't even know if they're 7th. That might be giving them a little bit of, a little bit of I can't even think of the word, but just giving them a little bit more than what they really are because they've been playing well. Lillard's been playing almost MVP level the last couple games, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. So, but the Suns are a good team. I think the Suns are a good team. They got some legit players over there. And the Jazz, obviously, even though I'm not sure. Do y'all think the Jazz is overrated?
No.
I think they can beat you so many different ways. And Donovan Mitchell, I mean, he's been very good every year of his career, but he's having like a superstar breakout year this year.
Right.
Go away. I mean, I agree it's 10, but it's like most teams.
They're scrappy, this team. They're scrappy.
Oh, you're down 13 with 3 to go. All right, fuck it. Now VanVleet makes another 3 from Disney World.
Go ahead, Tobias. There you go. All-star. Show them why you're the all-star.
You're an all-star.
I agree to the poll. Based off, I'll make it really quick. Just so we can get back to the end of the game reactions, because I agree with a lot of what you guys said. The biggest thing too is, and I know somebody in the comments said it, this isn't a finished product team. Daryl Morey's going to make needed adjustments. We're going to make needed trades, whether that's a splashy trade or tweaking the offense, or just say, hey, we're going to get some buyout players. So that's going to help out on the back-to-back. Say, for example, you get another big man to help out the depth of, the center position along with Tony Bradley and Dwight Howard. So I think you're going to get a veteran point guard in here to kind of run the offense when Ben Simmons isn't around. I think you're going to get another stretch forward. And I think, again, I could see them getting a buyout guy to say, hey, is there somebody out there who's better than Tony Bradley and can also offer us some other things that Dwight Howard can't on those games where Joel's going to miss. So to me, I absolutely agree with it. I don't think they're going to finish like 5-6 games over 500, but I definitely think they're going to be in the ballpark. And I would say they're either going to finish 500 or a couple games over.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there. I mean, I think at worst they finish 500.
Look at that.
But this was a great closeout. Fourth quarter here to finish it off, because at one point we were talking about they were on a run for about 5 minutes. What was that, 14-2 or something for a 5-minute run? And we talked about that money time starting right around that 6-minute mark, and we sort of were able to go on a run and hopefully it looks like close this game out and now get to 8-9 on the road. So, through all the trials and tribulations that we've had sort of on the road early on here throughout the season, you're talking about a team, you win the night, you're 8-9 on the road, so you're right by that 500 mark, which is really a great job from where you were a year prior, and what you need to be able to win in the postseason. You got to be able to go on the road and win if you want to go to an Eastern Conference final. And you sure as hell, if you want to go to an NBA final, and if you want to cut nets down, etc., you better be able to go on the road and beat teams, not just good ones. Anybody. You got to be able to anybody on the road. So you can, like I always say, like in every sport, play 500 on the road and be dominant at home, and you're going to be in good shape. I don't need you to be the greatest road team ever assembled. You know what I mean? But just be around that mark. You know what I mean? Be around 500, a little bit better, and keep playing the basketball yard at home. And then this team should be able to be the number one team in the Eastern Conference and have everything come through Philly, because now you're talking about 4 games at home in a 7-game series compared to 3, right? For a team that, is better on the road, I think we would all take that. That's why these types of games are important. A game like tonight's huge because you can't let a team like this, that's winners of 4 in a row, creep back up into it. When you haven't played good basketball, the Nets are playing great. Everybody else playing great. You got to continue to, air quote, tread water and try to stay afloat and be that number 1, number 2 seed right now. Because in a 72-game season, these games right here are games you can't cough up. You know what I mean?
And I honestly think, games like this are important, not only because it's against a team on the road that's as scrappy as Toronto, but you look at it to where I'm looking at the stat sheet now, none of our guys had a great game. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody in the starting 5 are in double digits, which is great, and that's key. And Furkan being able to start the game with 16 points in the first quarter and finish right now with 19, I think that's huge. Kind of filling the roles for Seth Curry while he's out. But, you're looking at it. Tobias Harris with the best night out of anybody right now, but that's all I say only just based off of he's had a great season. 21 points as of this moment, 8 for 12, 3 for 4. So that's good. That's efficiency. You would say, I think we could all comfortably say Joel Embiid had a bad night tonight, especially offensively. 3 of 13 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3 with 11 rebounds for 17 points. Simmons 5 for 10 from the field for 12 points. Korkmaz with 19. Danny Green 3 of 9, and all of those were 3-pointers for 11 points. And then your leader off the bench is Shake Milton with 11, and then Thibault with 7. So nobody's jumping off the stat sheet saying, "Wow, that's a statement game." But to your point, even in nights where we're not doing everything we need to do, we're still bounding together, and everyone's filling their roles. You know what I'm saying? Having each of the starters in double digits is huge, and also stepping up big defensively in the first half was crucial.
Yeah,
I think that's key for them.
Somebody stepping up. Sorry, Nate. Somebody stepping up. Looks like a Furkan stepping up in the first quarter and sort of opening things up that way too, where you're going to double, triple Embiid, right? And you have a guy that can come off your bench into a starter role today and step up and have 16 in the first quarter. That's fucking gigantic. I mean, to be able to get that production right away, is it going to be the difference in this basketball game?
True.
Yeah, they need a wing defender. I think for them to make a deep run, they need another wing defender. I don't think they need another scorer as much. But it's kind of how they defend Ben. What does Ben do in the playoffs is the question. You know what I mean? Because we know all-star Ben in regular season.
Can he put up his can he give you 15, 10, and 8? in the postseason. I mean, that's all I'm asking for. Are you guys?
Yeah, you know what? It's funny though because he does that, but we used to talk about this on Money Pot. Was that it's like empty stats? It's almost a triple double, and it's like, how the fuck is a triple double empty stats? It'll be at the end of the game when it's almost over. You know what I mean? He goes on a little run. So that's why it used to get me so frustrated about him, because you would argue with somebody, you would have a conversation about Ben, and then like, oh, well, he almost had a triple double. But like, how do you have a triple double and you don't even affect the game? You know what I'm saying? Like he does that. He has those games. But I mean, this year he's been super aggressive. He's popped. He showed up. You know what I mean? So, you know, I digress. I don't want to kill Ben because I kill Ben a lot. So I'm going to digress from killing Ben tonight. You know what I mean? Yeah. I usually have whiskey, so you know what I mean. I'm a little bit more aggressive, but my wife's got me drinking wine, so I'm a little sweet. Out of a bottle, though. I got to keep my gangster. You know what I mean?
You know how to jump ball, by the way. Wow, I thought that was an easy foul.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Thought that was an easy wrap around the arm.
Yeah, it's absolutely a foul. It's absolutely a foul, but they called it a jump ball. The VanVleet with Milton right there on the sideline.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, and that's what
you know. Jump stop.
What's that?
On a jump stop like that, you know what I mean? Like it's impossible not to grab it.
There's no way he's not on there. But that's the NBA. That's the refs. That's what I hate about the NBA. I just
right. What you were talking about earlier. You know, you're talking about the stat sheets might not be look pretty, but you have when you walk out on a road game and you have 6 guys in double figures, there's good chances, and you're willing to, and you're playing defense like they did tonight, and you're holding the team under 100. Good chances you're walking out with a win, and that's the difference. Good road teams also play great defense on the road too. It's just not like all about putting up 130 on the road. Good. We talk about great defenses travel. Well, it's the same thing in the NBA too, right? And when you want to try to be one of them teams, that great defense should travel with you, right? And tonight's the night where it did. We stifled them in the first half. You know what I mean? We absolutely did. To like the last 2 minutes of that first half.
It got sloppy there.
Yeah, it got sloppy at the end. Yep, right. You're right, Greg. Got sloppy at the end. But besides that, we stifled them. And then in another big spot here with 6 and change to go, we stifled again. And that's the promising stuff. We always talk about like what's going on at the end of the game, what's going on in closeouts. And that's what we saw tonight so far.
And to be able to come out of a game with a W on the road when, let's be real, your best player has played his 2 worst games of the year, right? And you split with a very good, up-and-coming, scrappy team.
So dunk, by the way.
What's that?
Did you get the Ben missed dunk yet? Or you that the lead?
I saw it.
I'm just getting to the jump ball. But
hey, hold on.
You're like 3 hours behind us.
We're coming in for a landing, Dad. Hold on.
3 hours behind us. Jeez.
But being able to come out with a win and avenge a loss that you could probably call not a bad loss, but you didn't play very well Sunday as a collective group, and then to come back and beat a team again on the road that they're chasing you. They're looking up at you. They're chasing you. Oh, my God.
I believe you. He's reached the Ben Simmons dunk.
I love you, Ben, but that's bad.
Not good.
Yeah. But to get a win when Joel's played his 2 worst games and you only, you split, that's a win to me, on the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you need guys to step up when they're doing this, because if not, every team's going to go and start triple teaming them. You know what I mean? And you don't want that. You're right. You don't want that fully. So you need other guys to hurt you, right? You need the bias to hurt you. You need a guy like Furkan to come in and hurt you. You need other guys to hurt you. You need Danny Green to be efficient from 3, right? Or when Seth Curry's healthy, you need him to be efficient from 3, right? Yeah. You need these other guys to hurt you so teams can't do it. Because Toronto's done it for 2 games right now, where they've sent the kitchen sink. This is 3 games in a row where I've seen the kitchen sink brought at Joel Embiid. So,
and to be honest, this Sixers team as a whole is completely night and day from Sixers teams from the past. And you guys been saying it all night so far, is that whenever past 2 years now for the Sixers, whenever Joel was not on his game and not hitting everything, it seemed like you guys didn't have another guy to fill up the stat sheet for you guys that might take over. But all of a sudden, it seems like this year, whenever Joel's not having the game of his night, Tobias is there, or Ben's lighting up the stat sheet, and like tonight, Korkmaz comes out in first quarter and is lighting it up. So it's always nice to have, finally, for the Sixers to have, somebody step up whenever Joel's not getting anything going.
Hey, don't hate on my guy Jimmy Buckets, man.
It was a cup of coffee, Nate. Don't count. He had a cup of coffee here. He had like 4.5 sips.
Shot clock.
Yeah, 3 shot clock violations in a game 6.
In game 7.
Yeah.
Yep.
7, whatever the fuck it was. All right, 42 shot clock violations. 2 cups of coffee.
Hey, he got it. He helped us get us there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's sparked. We were excited about this team, and we haven't been that excited since AI was playing. So let's be honest here. He showed up and made a couple big shots. We finally saw a closer outside of Embiid. That's what he did. As soon as he came on, he had a couple game winners right out the gate.
And now he's playing for Miami. He went to a finals last year.
And he went to the finals. Right, exactly. And he went to the finals. So, put some respect on my guy Jimmy Bucket's name, man.
Yeah, what do you want me to do? You want me to kiss his ass?
All I asked was some real respect. I ain't asked for all that.
Oh, I give him plenty. You know what I mean? I just,
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Sorry. I know I'm ahead, but I couldn't not react to that.
No, you're good. When I'm that far behind,
I'm ahead of Tom.
It's getting close.
What's the score?
Oh my God, they almost did it twice.
I know. That's why, I couldn't not react to that. I tried holding it in. I couldn't do it.
What's the score?
Up 6.
It is
up 6.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Up 6.
We were up 15 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Tom, did you bet the money line or did you bet the line, the spread?
The spread.
What was the spread?
1.5.
Oh,
wow. All right. Well, I guess yeah, that's if you think about it, because they're in Toronto. Toronto's a tough place to win. You know what I mean?
In Toronto, in Tampa. Yeah.
Danny Green.
Yeah.
No, Danny Green, just pack your bags. I'm done.
Oh, they're that's right. They're not in Toronto.
Yeah, they're in Tampa, thanks to the Canadian government.
Good chime in, Noah. Good chime in.
You know what's funny too? Because everywhere else in Florida they allow fans, but there's no fans here.
What
Like the Magic have fans.
I argued who gets the money.
Yeah, probably.
Greg, I want you to read this comment.
What up, fella? Jimmy's got definite Korkmaz shade. He definitely hates Korkmaz.
Is that
exchange of
Scalabrine from the Nets?
Yeah.
Is that Scalabrine from the Nets?
I'm here for all the Korkmaz slander.
The white mamba. Bring
I'm
him
here
out.
for it. I'm here for it.
On the Celtics.
I remember that, dude.
Hate on him all you want. We don't win the game without him.
I'm not hating. I'm not
win
saying
the game at all. Greg, give it 2 minutes. We might not win the game at all.
Well, that's why I didn't post about Korkmaz having a good first quarter. I'm thinking about the team here.
If you lose this game, is Doc on the hot seat?
Oh my God.
No.
Somebody block him. Somebody just
shut up, Mr. Losing streak. Straight. I saw how LeBron James handed your team the L last night, begging for DeMarcus Cousins at 3 in the morning. I see you.
Tonight. We'll talk about Sixers tonight.
What are they reviewing?
Oh, yeah.
He's out.
I think it's the out of bounds play.
What if he stepped out?
They were saying if he stepped out before it went back into Ben.
So what does it matter?
Yeah, I don't really know what it matters because Ben got the ball.
Hey, Tom, is this diaper money on the line here?
Nah.
You know what I mean? The way you're looking at this game, I hope not.
I always look at Sixers games like this. I live and die. What do you want me to do? I live and die. True.
What up, Molly?
It's only the college tuition. Don't worry about it.
That 529 account.
So I'm guessing it's Sixer ball because Nick Nurse looks pissed off right now.
Looks like it, yeah.
I mean, it's tough to really see if he looks pissed off because he's got a mask on, but his eyes didn't look happy.
I just don't know what the the conversation's about. You waste freaking 5 minutes. It feels like.
Yep.
At the end of the game, over what?
Well, yeah, they gotta call up Vegas, and Vegas gotta tell them, hey,
Vegas.
let's relax here.
Vegas.
Vegas is New Jersey, bro.
It's New Jersey.
No, Vegas for
Secaucus.
gambling, dude, for gambling.
He's talking about for gambling.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like a C- joke.
Christ, you can gamble everywhere, Ralph.
You
Yeah.
guys are crazy.
Is gambling not legal on the East Coast?
Don't worry, Ralph. I'll stick with you, buddy. I heard you.
Thank you, Nate.
I got the fix is in, right, Ralph? The fix is in.
Yeah.
We'll find out if that fix is in. The guy on the other line's like, yo, a lot of money on the Sixers. Gonna need you.
Yeah, let me see.
Is
Let me
that
see if I
Pat
can see that.
Donahue? Is that Pat Donahue? Referee again?
Yeah.
When did Pat come back?
Yeah. Donahue's back in town.
Yes, back.
I'm gonna look it up for you real quick, Tom. I'm gonna tell you how much money's on the Sixers right now. The percentage. Give me a sec.
It's like the Scooby Doo where they pull the mask off and it's Donahue.
Yeah.
There you go, Tom. 97% of the bets are on the money line for the Sixers.
So they didn't want to even lay the juice. They just went money line.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It opened. So this is
What's common?
where is this at? I'm trying to think what. This is Westgate. Westgate opened at -2, jumped up to 2.5, and now the current line, the live line is 2.5, which is probably still good. It might be a still good number, but that hook could get you. And yeah, 97% of the money was on the Sixers. Yeah, man.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? I just checked like my phone and our stream was paused. There was 35 seconds on the game clock 11 minutes ago. And we're at 19 seconds.
Yeah.
So we've had like 10 seconds of game time in 11, 12 minutes.
It's the end of NBA games. You know what I mean? You turn it on, you get you get food delivered, 2 minutes delivered, get all through all your food. Game still feels like you watch it for an hour and a half. You're fine. Totally fine. Oh man. But you can take a bazooka to this team and they just they'll keep on scrapping you to the very end. But it looks like the Sixers are going to close this out unless more craziness happens.
Are they up by 6 still?
It's now 7.
Oh,
Here comes Tease.
Matisse has had a good game to me. He's played well defensively and then, was able to make a 3. If he can make a 3, that's all extra. You'll take it. I think he had 7 points tonight. So you'll take that from him off the bench because that's a positive, right? He sort of had more of a pulse offensively for him than he had early on over the last year.
Yeah, he's been bad recently, and he needed something to kind of bust out, right? Get that feeling of seeing the ball go through the hoop again. So I'm glad he kind of showed up a little bit.
First quarter, he showed up.
Joe missing free throws, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he did the other night too. Yeah, it was.
And it was perfect tonight until he missed it.
Is it the Raptors with him, or is he struggling a little bit? Is he struggling a little bit?
I think he's struggling a little bit. I mean, it's obvious, but he's just struggling because he's getting. I feel like there's a lot of getting the ball out of his hands. They're forcing the ball out of his hands. You know what I mean?
The Raptors do a really good job. I kind of mentioned it too early in the broadcast. We put a lot of the defense on Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol, but it's obviously, Nick Nurse and the defensive, philosophy around Joel and stifling them because they're obviously playing really well without those guys.
I thought, dumb question, but I've seen it all night. So the Raptors bench, when we're shooting 3 throws, they're jumping around, they're screaming. I thought the rule was that they're not supposed to be able to do anything distracting on the bench. Because remember, there's in the past, people would be throwing towels and they would get automatic technicals. Because Joel and Tobias are chirping at that bench right now. They were chirping.
Yeah, they've been doing it all night. They've been doing their little cheerleading.
Yeah.
I thought that was like an automatic tech.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Tobias looking at him earlier, and I looked at Tobias, and in my head, I was like, dude, Go hit the fucking free throw. You're used to playing around 20,000 people. You know what I mean? Let them dance around out of the corner of your right eye. Who gives a shit? Go hit the shot. You know what I mean? Go hit the shot. But I hear you. I don't know. I haven't seen any other teams doing it besides that. And they were heavy with it tonight.
It's been a long time since I've even seen that, like a tech to the bench from a free throw. I don't think I've seen that in like
good stuff.
Since
Toby.
It's been a long time.
The last team that did it was that Nets team that we faced with Jared Dudley in the playoffs, but that was a couple of years ago, and they used to get texts all the time. That's why I know it, because freaking Jared Dudley was on that team, and I can't.
Yeah, Jared Dudley's a clown.
Yeah,
he's a national treasure. He's hilarious.
I mean, the fact that he's still playing is impressive. On a roster.
I was going to say, doesn't play. He doesn't play.
He's a great guy.
Stop it, Ralph.
Practice.
Udonis Haslem plays more than Jared Dudley. Okay.
Another good practice guy at this point.
Yeah.
Good guy. Good guy.
I'm shocked Haslem could even walk up and down.
Yeah.
Get in and out of the arena.
Dude's old and in great shape too, by the way.
Yeah.
He's such a vet. He's such a vet on that team. You know what I mean? He don't need to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He's a coach, pretty much. He's a coach.
He's like a consultant.
Oh my God! Can we just get a rebound for God's sakes? Thanks.
I mean, they're up by 7. The game's over. Relax.
All right, play.
Nate, the last 35 seconds lasted 20 minutes.
Play the theme song.
I've had enough looking at this.
There we go.
Looking at this.
Clap your hands. Clap your hands. That's a good one. It's a good one. I don't care. It gets down a little tight at the end. A little tight at the end. Wins or wins.
Sam, we just did win with this bench.
Yeah, I was going to say, here come the panic comments. After a win, we're still saying we can't win with the bench.
We got to trade Carter Hart too, right? Let's see if we can move him in the NBA deadline.
All right, all them comments are coming. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All the comments are coming of like I'm not crowning this team, but we're still first in the East. So I mean, take it for what it is. All right, obviously it's a good Toronto team too. We went down and faced.
I was about to say that's a good Toronto team, man.
They're playing a lot better.
Here we go.
There we go. Yep, we're making decisions.
Trade Maxey now. Trade him now.
Making decisions on all the young guys.
Yeah. I do love seeing like on social media. Why is Korkmaz playing in front of Maxey? Like, we do realize they two completely different positions on the floor, right? Like, there's probably a foot difference in size.
And one defense right now. Like, Maxey is not there yet. Where Matisse defends, and honestly, if he's scoring 7 a game, he's going to give you as much as Maxey's giving you. You know what I mean? So it's not like shooting the lights out.
How did Korkmaz get the start? I thought I read last that they were going to go with Smith. Does anybody know how that happened, or is that just me? Is that
Smith? Who's Smith?
Ian, the rookie Smith. I'm sorry, not Smith. I'm thinking about Ish Smith. Joe.
Isaiah
Joe.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Ish Smith.
Ish Smith.
I might have burned down if Isaiah Joe got a start.
I was like,
that was an A2D blooper.
I didn't even know Ish Smith.
Wasn't he a process guy, Ish Smith?
Yeah.
Process guy.
I'm sure there's people who still want him back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Listen, we might bring him in. You never know.
I mean, Joe, didn't you say he was going to start Joe for a little bit?
No. The thing with Isaiah Joe and Korkmaz was that the last couple games, Isaiah Joe took off Korkmaz's minutes because Korkmaz was like 0 for 16 from 3 or something. So they sat him down. But tonight they wanted to go with more, I say veteran with Korkmaz, even though he's like 23 and he's been in the league for like 2 years. But compared to Isaiah Joe, he would be the veteran. And he started before. So that's why they went Furkan over Isaiah as far as the starters.
I like Furky's response tonight. From dealing with, like, I always talk about adversity. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Adversity, what's your response going to be? And a younger guy was getting minutes over you. Come out and shoot the lights out in the first quarter like he did. You know what I mean? You didn't have the same game after that, but that's fine. You know what I mean? Whatever. I don't expect you to go off for 40 because you're not that dude. But if you go off for
it's not summer league.
Yeah, you go off for 19, and I feel good about that game.
He's streaky. He's a streaky type player. So, I mean, I think he can give you some solid points off the bench. But, I mean, I don't. Do you want to trade his shooting? You know what I mean? When he's going right now. I don't know about that.
And it's obvious that the staff likes him, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He gets minutes over guys that, obviously the fans love in Maxey or whoever else, Matisse, and he gets to start. I know they were kind of going through a rotation of who, who's next guy to kind of get a start, in this type of situation. But it's obvious that the amount of minutes that he plays, whether he's playing well or not, that the organization likes him.
Yeah, he has he gives effort, right? He gives effort on both sides of the court, whether it be offense or defense. Is he a liability on defense? Of course he is. You know what I mean? With the ball carriers that are out there, he can't stick with them. But play into the scheme. Know where your help is behind you, right? You don't have to be a shutdown defensive player to be a good defensive stopper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's got to be willing, and he's willing.
Real quick, we've got a 1-point game, Boston over Dallas, and Doncic just hit the 3 to take. Wow.
What channel?
TNT, Ralphie, TNT.
Nice.
So Dallas just took a 107-105 lead over the Celtics with 15.3 remaining. So
he's so good, dude.
Remember when everybody crowned Danny Ainge?
Yeah, now he's crushing himself now. He's even saying he's doing a bad job now, Danny.
Well, I just think that Kemba's not right. I mean, I don't know if anybody else watches Kemba and thinks he's right. I think that knee's still an issue.
Yeah, I agree,
I'm
Tommy.
sure it is. Yeah,
I agree.
He's not getting lift in his shot and his jumper like he did like even last year. Like if I'm them, I just shut him down for another like 2 weeks.
And there's an obvious reason why he's been on the market these past 2 years to trade him. You know,
that's what Ralphie. That's what we've been talking about. They got to put him in a deal to get a big man. That's what they got to do. I don't know who would want him because he's got a long contract.
But then it's Kemba though, right? Like
yeah.
Kemba gets money. So he's not the Kemba that we remember from Charlotte. But I mean, what has he got? I'm looking at his numbers now: 8 for 19, 4 for 11, 21 points. I mean, I haven't really watched Boston too much, so I'm not. I don't know what you guys are saying in terms of the explosion with the knee. Was it surgery this year? I know he had a knee surgery.
He was banged up
after the bubble.
Yeah, he was banged up going into the bubble too.
But it was a big surgery though, right? It wasn't like some small procedure.
I'm not sure.
I think it was a major surgery.
I think it was major surgery. Yeah, because he was out for a while.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Correct.
He doesn't.
And he was out. He was out starting this year for a whole month. Like he didn't start the year with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's only been back for about 2 to 3 months now. It's been with Boston or the whole entire NBA so far.
No, he came back when we had that back to back with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long ago was that?
3 weeks, a month, maybe.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they're missing.
Oh my God!
Oh, Kemba with the winner?
No, Doncic beat him. Doncic.
Wow, he shot that one.
He's so good.
That was like Dame Lillard territory.
Doncic. Wow.
And it's weird too because the way he plays,
all right there, Jesus.
He doesn't look like he's really that quick or fast.
Yo, that is the same spot he beat the Clippers last year. Remember that, right? Same exact spot. Oh my God,
Ralphie. You know what I mean? You know that the dude's got their hot spots.
Dude, he's so good, Tommy. He's so good.
And Nate's right. He does I didn't love him coming out. I didn't know if he was athletic enough.
I was just about to say, Tommy, you were critical of his athleticism coming out.
To play at in this level, you better be athletic too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's athletic enough. Right,
he's super crafty, man.
Yeah,
like he's crafty, and then he knows how to create space. That's his thing. Like he's crafty with his dribble. He's got great eyes, great patience. But when you see him shoot his three, even though his release is slow, somewhat there's space. And then even when there's not space, he'll still drill it in your face. So
you know what else, Nate? And he's big, right? And he's big.
Right. What is he? 6'9", 6'10"? No, he's not 6'10". He's not that tall, is he?
6'7".
He might be. He might be the same height as LeBron.
Like 6'7", 6'8", but regardless,
no one cares about LeBron.
You know what nobody talks about enough?
Yeah, he's 6'7", Luka.
In like all sports, right? Is guys' footwork, right? And him, like Harden's got great footwork. He's not the most athletic guy. He's got really great footwork, right? Luka's another guy, not the most athletic guy, but great footwork. And great footwork, at the guard position can create you space. You know what I mean? And that's what you're able to see from a guy like this, like what they were saying. And you're 6'8", so you're able to get shots over guys. That's how I look at it.
No, you're absolutely right.
Now, I think with that loss, I think Boston is under 500.
Yeah,
and yet they have 2 All-Stars.
Yep.
Yeah,
they're under 500, I think.
15 and 16.
Yep.
Sorry, my cat knocked out my power cord.
You're good.
I'm just having a night, man. I'm talking about Ish Smith drinking a wine bottle, my cat knocking out my power cord.
Boston struggles also shows another thing too: the importance of Marcus Smart.
Yeah,
been out. I mean, they've tried putting him in deals, and other teams have tried getting him, and they've been, they haven't done it yet. But that shows also, with Kemba kind of struggling, him being streaky, him missing a month or so, and then with Smart being out, that's 2 huge pieces. Because it's not like, what I'm saying, it's not like they even depend on Kemba to run the team. That's Tatum and Brown's team. When Tatum did his job, I mean, he didn't shoot that well, but he put up 28 points. Jaylen Brown put up 29 points. It's like, damn, you have those 2 stars. You have Kemba. You're under 500. You know what I'm saying? And their bench isn't horrible. At least it doesn't look like it on paper. So something's not right there. And like I said, when it comes to them playing us, they don't really have somebody to stop Embiid. So that's something they need to figure out, especially if we get to see him in the playoffs.
Yeah, they've definitely lost that ability to defend Joel, and that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they don't have the ability to defend anybody.
Well, that's true.
You could just hit one from fucking half court. First 2 guys. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, and they're surrounded with 2 young stars who carry them, but they get nothing from anybody else.
Yeah.
Or not enough, right? Not enough.
It's crazy when you think between the 2 of them they put up 60, and you lost. That should be a guaranteed win. When your 2 stars come to play, you shouldn't lose that game.
No.
In theory.
You guys want me to run through the reserves, the All-Star reserves?
Yeah, if you want.
You guys just tell me, some of the, the biggest snubs, the ones maybe you disagree with type thing.
Yeah.
So for the East, the reserves are James Harden. What did you say over there?
It's a bum. I'm just messing.
Julius Randle, first-time All-Star. Jason Tatum, second All-Star. Jaylen Brown for the first time, he's in. So you got two Celtics, while also being below 500. But those 2 are stars, so I don't think anyone has a problem with that. Zach LaVine, first-time All-Star. Ben Simmons gets in, and Nikola Vucevic of Greg's Orlando Magic.
Beloved Orlando Magic.
No Markel?
No Markel.
Too soon.
I like Vucevic, man. He's an
He missed it
ex-Sixer.
again.
Man.
Yeah.
He's an ex-Sixer. Who would have thought he would have been a 2020 guy, right?
Not Colangelo. Not Colangelo.
I hated to give him up. I knew why we had to give him up. I knew he was going to be a really good player, but I understood the reasoning why we had
good, though?
Yeah, I thought he'd be a 20 and 10 guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I was about to say because he can do 30. I've seen him do what 25 and 20.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's a monster for sure. Yeah,
Nick.
Yeah, Vucevic.
Yeah.
He's always been a damn good player. I have no problem with that. The East, really, honestly, Julius Randle is totally deserving.
I like Julius being in there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The only guy is because there's 2 guys because their teams aren't good. Well, really, 4 guys really their teams aren't good, but 2 guys when you talk about like when you talk about the Bulls and the Magic, and I know I had another one in there too, but like you're getting through the reward.
Well, the Knicks too at Randall in reality.
And then, I mean, you're talking about getting rewarded on bad teams, which is fine. But them 3 guys' numbers dictate all-star numbers. So I don't have a problem with any of them guys really getting in. You can't load up all the teams. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? Tobias to me deserve it. this year because of his consistency. But
Yeah, 100%.
It's not an outrage. It's not an outrage. Like where it's like,
like who's the question mark with Tobias? Like who would he get it over?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not an outrage. Like they're all well-deserved names.
Yeah, it didn't help that he dropped a dud the game right before the selections were made. You know what I mean? Now I'm sure the selection, or the thought was already there, but it doesn't hurt dropping a turd right before the selection comes out.
Yeah, it would have had to have been Tobias over Tatum. It would have had to, and that just doesn't seem right to me. Some of the snubs on the East, according to people, and I'll just ask you guys, who do you think is the biggest snub? Bam Adebayo, Trae Young, Colin Sexton, Sabonis, Jeremy Grant, or Tobias Harris?
Hold on, before we go to that, 60+ people watching over on YouTube. Going to need you guys to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and get in more Sixers fans. Get in the faithful. All right, get in the faithful here. All right, now who were people saying that are snubs?
In the East, you've got Bam Adebayo, Trae Young, Domantas Sabonis, Jeremy Grant, Colin Sexton, Tobias Harris.
None are snubs over the knee.
None. Yeah, none are snubs. I was thinking maybe Grant because but he could be a shoo-in for the most improved player. He's really stepped it up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He really showed me something with that 40-point game, I think, not too many games ago. I didn't know he had that in him. Want to get another X-Sixer, too, by the way. So his game has really grown. And he's starting to really develop into, he was always athletic. He could defend, but he was kind of like in between, a low post and trying to define his shot in the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, he absolutely was.
Not a Sean Marion skill set, but a Sean Marion type player where he just got buckets. Like he found garbage ways to get, lay-ins, tap-ins, dunks, maybe hit a jumper here and there, So I think that the only argument you could make is for maybe Grant, but it's not a big deal that he didn't get in though. The guys that got in probably should get over him. For sure.
Yeah, I would say I don't have an issue with any of them, to be honest. I would say if you had to say the biggest snub, it would probably be Sabonis over Vucevic, but Vucevic has better stats. The only argument is Sabonis has a better team, but Vucevic has also been what was that?
The Pacers.
Is he on the Pacers?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But the argument for Vucevic is that they've been shredded with injuries, and Vucevic is kind of keeping them, I guess you can call them afloat, but he's had to carry that team just because they've been shredded with injuries.
Yeah, I think he's deserving of one. I mean, it's a guy who I don't believe he's made one before. Has always been a real consistent player and sort of an under-the-radar guy in a way. And I think the time's come where he's deserving of one. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel about Nick. I mean, the guy's always been a walking 2010 guy. So,
for sure.
At some point, you're deserving of one. I mean, throw the guy a bone for just them numbers being there every single year. And I think that's what he gets here. Like there's some cases you can maybe make, but I mean, none of them names that were left off were to the level of just like a name like Devin Booker in the West. You know what I mean? Like that's the name that where you're left off with, and you're like, oh, hold on here. Hold on, what are we doing? Trae Young, okay, I like Trae, right? It's cool, but like it's not egregious. He doesn't make it. I mean, the guy's making over him is averaging 28 a game in Zach LaVine. So it's not an outrage. You know what I mean? Both teams are around the same. The Hawks are a little better, obviously, than the Bulls, but neither team's like the greatest team ever. Like if the Hawks were a top 3 seed and Trae Young's not making it, then you start talking outrage, right? That's sort of how that game works. So I mean, all the top seeds have 2 guys going at least. I don't have a problem with anything with the Eastern Conference.
Yo, shout out Susie Stones. Love the name.
Susie Stones, good name.
Good name, Susie Stones. I like that.
Susie Stones.
And kind of on that same token, like if you put Trae on there, what guard are you taking out, right? You taking Tatum, you taking Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Who you taking out for the guard?
Yeah, there's no argument for Trae Young in here. Right? They're the 11th in the East. They're below the Knicks and the Bulls. The Bulls and the Knicks would both be in the playoffs right now. There's, you know what I'm saying? If they were a top 6 seed, okay. But I know it wasn't even a Hawks Twitter. Like a bunch of people were like, "Oh, Trae Young should be a shoo-in." No, he shouldn't.
No,
he shouldn't be. In the Western Conference, you've got Chris Paul, Paul George, Dame Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Zion Williamson, and Anthony Davis. But Ralphie, I think we can all assume Anthony Davis is not going to be playing.
Yeah, they're gonna replace him,
and that's probably going to be Devin Booker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which Devin Booker should have made it regardless. Like,
yeah,
the way he got snubbed this year again, almost like a Bradley Beal thing, like last year. How you leave Devin Booker out is beyond me, because the dude yet again is balling out.
Yeah,
and the team's playing better.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and he's been a lot more unselfish than in years past.
Yeah,
that's like
unselfish.
Yeah,
and he doesn't have to be selfish anymore. He's got Chris Paul there, but I mean, they never surrounded him with talent in Phoenix when Devin was there. So it was just him on the court.
Yeah,
so he had to chuck up 55 shots a night just for that.
And you also got to factor that Devin's actually had a coach that's been in the team for more than one season with Monty Williams.
Yeah.
So
right? Yeah,
there's some consistency in that coaching staff that's helping Devin go to the next level.
Yeah, I mean the Suns are fourth. They're fourth in the West right now. So
yeah,
that's huge. That's a huge jump of progression for them. So I personally don't believe. I mean, Chris Paul. Either way, it looks like both Booker and Paul would have gotten in, because say Booker got voted in, Paul would have kind of been subbed in for Anthony Davis. But I don't see any issue with having 2 All-Stars from that team. I know it looks a little weird, just because it's the Suns, but Booker and Paul should absolutely both be in it.
To me, like the Paul George kind of is interesting to me, because I feel like he's missed a ton of games that it's shocking that he was almost eligible to make the playoffs. Now, when he's on the court, he's been, his percentages and his stats are really good, but it felt like to me he missed a whole lot of games to be eligible and be available.
Yeah, I mean, he only missed 10, I believe. I think it was 10.
Okay.
That's where the name recognition comes in, right?
No, you're right.
You know what I mean? You get in, you're in the good old club. You know what I mean? You just constantly get in. If you have you're playing decent basketball, you know what I mean? I mean, he's actually played good basketball when he's been on the court.
Absolutely.
For sure. I'll give him credit there. But I don't know. West isn't a huge issue outside of Booker, really. There's not a bunch of names that I feel like are like snub city out west.
Yeah, the list, according to Twitter of the snubs there was McCollum, but he's missed too many games for the Blazers.
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan, no. Jamal Murray, no.
Who wrote that?
John Morant,
No.
Brandon Ingram, no, because they're 11th in the West. And De'Aaron, I would have liked to see De'Aaron Fox, just because I know you and I are big fans of him, Tom. But we talked about it when we played Sacramento and we were live during that game. We knew the chances of him getting in was slim to none, just because of how good the Western Conference is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jamal Murray, maybe you can make a case, like a little bit of an argument, but that would be talking about the bubble. You know what I mean? That would be talking about last year a little bit, not so much this year. I mean,
Girlfriend gate.
He's still averaging 20 a game. I get it. You know what I mean? But he's not going off for like 24, 25, where that argument's like really there, or they're playing the best basketball. When I believe they're like 16 and 14. So they're not.
Yeah, they struggled early.
Yeah, they're not playing the greatest basketball this year. They've been playing better. But you already have one All-Star from that team. I don't think when you're 16 and 14, you're a team that should be getting 2, unless the numbers are jumping off the charts like they are in Boston, per se, for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And I hate saying that. And giving Boston any type of credit there, but those 2 numbers, they jump off the page to you like, well, yep, they're all-star numbers.
For
and
sure.
they're young, right? The NBA loves loves promoting their young star players, right? Which is why you can make a case that Ben Simmons is there, right? Over some names, maybe, right? And it's good to get praised for being an elite defender too. It's good to get praised for playing all facets of the game, right? When it turns in the rebounding, in the distributing, in the playing defense, right? And all them things. It's good to get rewarded for them things too, right? I think that's important for the NBA moving forward, right? Where we see a lot of teams that want to score 130, right? But I think it's good for the league and us as fans moving forward that defense gets love. You guys disagree with that? I mean, I think it's a good thing for the league to promote defensive players. Like, did Rudy make it out west? Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, good. Promote guys who shot block and protect the rim and do the dirty work and the grunt work. And I mean, I know he can still score it. I'm not saying he can at all. I'm just saying, you look at Rudy, you think the defense. You look at Ben, you think defense, right? Like, reward them guys, especially if their teams are playing good basketball and great basketball.
No, I completely agree, Tom. I mean, because the knock on the NBA of the quality of game is that there is no defense. You know what I mean? And that's a knock for myself, right? I don't watch much of the NBA because I just think it's, for the most part, it's there's a whole lot of pickup games. And so it feels like to me. So yeah, I think it's absolutely correct to reward some of these guys that continue to play the full game on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's what it's about. It's what it's about. I mean, 130 is cool. Like, I don't mind scoring 130. I'm not trying to give 130 up anytime in the near future because that's not a good recipe for winning either. But it's good. It's good for the league a little bit. So no, I don't have any issues. I don't think anybody else really has issues outside of really Booker guys. That's
My big thing is just Devin Booker being left off. That's my biggest thing.
Who is this? Who would he be on for? Like who would be out from Booker in?
Paul. It would be
Chris Paul.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that trade.
Yep. And then Chris Paul, because of the way it is with substitutions due to injury, Chris Paul would then go in for Anthony Davis just because they wouldn't have to find another center or stretch forward. What is he considered, Ralph? Because I know
Anthony Davis.
Yes,
he's considered as a four. He's a four. Yeah, he's a power forward. Yeah, so I don't know. Now, do they do it? Do they do it how I forget what else league it does it. Whatever position comes out, they replace it with that position.
No,
like the MLB. No. So like if a catcher can't make it, they replace him with another catcher.
No. Adam Silver gets to choose it, and it could be any position that he wants.
Gotcha. So then I think it's going to be Devin. It should be Devin. Easily.
It should be It has to be Devin Booker. It has to be. There's no question.
I know when Chris Paul came out and Devin Booker All-Star. Because he made
You know what's funny too? Chris Paul's that type of guy and that type of leader that if he knew that was going to happen, he'd probably give up his spot before it even. Like, hey, make him the definitive announced All-Star. I'll get in on the thing so that there's no like asterisk, right? That's just the leader he is.
Like Zion got in over Devin.
Oh, I mean, I don't agree with that right now.
Yeah.
Not at all. There should be one guy from that team to make it. They've underachieved. I don't give a fuck.
If you were going to take somebody from the Pelicans, and I know why Zion's in because you want the ratings and shit like that. He's a flashy player. He's a great player. But if I'm going to take somebody from the Pelicans, my pick would have been Brandon Ingram.
Easily.
He's the best player on the team. Zion's not the best player on his team. No,
and I know they're young, and I don't expect them to be there yet as a whole, right? Because they're young. But they haven't gotten better as a unit yet, right? So how are you rewarding that? And this is the NBA at times, right? Where I know a lot of us can't stand it. Where it's like, come on, there's a guy on your team that's
better. That's putting up better stats and having better games than half of the night. You know what I mean? Like,
you want the love affair. Listen,
while Devin Booker is with Phoenix and then they're full of seed and he's not in it.
Right? It doesn't make sense.
That's why, I love the NBA, but then I hate the NBA because, the All-Star, we all know, the All-Star is all popularity. So
Absolutely.
whatever can give us more ratings, right?
The GOAT JJ Redick didn't make the All-Star team?
No.
Oh,
Missed out again.
Knock it off, Greg. Everybody over on YouTube
again.
Pound that like over on YouTube, fam. See a lot of you over there. Even if you don't like what's coming out of our mouth, pound the like anyway.
I don't like whatever comes out of Ralph's mouth all the time either.
Well, he's right. It is a good. I mean, it is the good old boys club, and
no, for sure.
And that's why Chris Paul might not be having. Chris Paul's having a great year because it's just Chris Paul.
Yeah.
But not having the year Devin Booker, and you get the name recognition again, right? We talk about Paul George. There's a lot of name recognition there, and I disagree with you that Chris Paul will give up his All-Star selection for Devin Booker because that's bonuses for these guys. But
no, I hear you.
I digress. He is a damn good teammate. But
400,000 for an All-Star slot. I might have to keep that one, Devin. I apologize.
Next year.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade said, "Oh,
I'll get you a good premium on your State Farm insurance, though."
Yep, we'll get you in a commercial, Devin. Don't worry, we'll get you in a commercial.
Jonathan actually took the words right out of my mouth, so I'll put his comment up. He says, "Saw something Dwayne Wade said today, which was interesting. Should the NBA add a bench player spot to the All-Star game for someone like Jordan Clark? So like a sixth-man selection type pool."
Kind of like what the NFL does with like the gunners and the special teams guys.
Yeah. I think that'd be a cool, neat thing to add.
Mm-hmm.
But would it bring excitement to the game for the fans, right? Like it's not just really to give the players recognitions. The All-Star game is about giving back to the fans, seeing their best players on all the teams do dunks, do kind of street ball type shit, right? Do we really want to see Clarkston in that type of game? I don't really think so.
I think the only thing it would add would be another layer to the voting. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe fans, but not a lot of fans are going to do this to where they're just going to pick the players that they know. They're not going to go into the bench like, who's the best bench player?
Or they're probably going to ballot stuff at a couple years ago in the NHL All-Star game when of all people they picked John Scott to captain the Pacific Division in the All-Star game and won MVP honors. But that's probably one of those things that's going to backfire where there's going to be this massive troll campaign to get probably the most obscure guy to let's say Utah Watanabe to get an All-Star spot over a lot of deserving players.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, it would
or you could just give it, or you just let the coaches.
Well, it would be
vote.
evened out. It would never be.
Vote.
Yeah, it would never be just fan voting. It would be the same thing as everything else, to where it would be evened out, and there would only be certain guys available. So, I would say probably, each team could maybe submit their bench guy to where ours would be probably Shake Milton. All of Greg's people, he couldn't say Furkan Korkmaz for the All-Star game like that. He wouldn't be eligible ever, Greg, ever.
I mean, that to me just screams, 2020, 2021, where we got to include everybody. We got to make everybody happy. We got to pat some people on the ass. Jordan Clarkson, you're having a great year. Here's an All-Star bid. That to Nate's point, nobody wants to see him, right?
It's about Jordan Clarkson.
I don't care.
Say what I want to Zion making the All-Star team. I'll watch Zion. You know what I mean? That's cool. That's fine. Whatever. He is a guy you go to the box office attraction. Jordan Clarkson, never a box office attraction. Even if you add an extra position, I'd rather you just add an extra player then. Because there's better players out there, obviously, that we named than Jordan Clarkson, Shake Milton, Lou Williams, right, of the world, right? There's a lot of other good players that aren't on the All-Star team. So you want to open up another spot? Then give it to the next most deserving player then. Not to the participation award and a trophy here, we got to start honoring six men, and we're going to start being like, okay, you get one rookie that gets to be added, and it's going to keep added. One guy from the fucking G League, and then it's going to kick it out. There's going to be about 42 guys here that nobody gives a rat's ass about. That's
right. I'll never see a minute.
Hey, Noah, wake up. Hey, you up? Wake up, Noah. I'm going to say something.
All ears.
You all ears? All right, just making sure. I was tapping my screen to wake you up.
No,
I know Tom does that to everybody. Puts them to sleep with his Reddick and his rants. So wake up.
I'm sure I'm the one here putting people to sleep. No is all ears, no eyes. You know what I mean? Like no eyes.
He does his fake laugh. He's like this, and he's like, "That was funny, Tom."
I love it.
Gonna tell him sleeping or laughing.
Either or.
I got no idea what he was doing over there.
I'm here.
My man.
But yeah, that's all I have to say on that shit. I mean,
I'm not. I don't. Like I said, I don't think it adds any really value. It's just added for the players. It's for the fans, really. At the end of the day.
well, that's why you have a 3-point contest where you get guys who aren't all-stars. You have the pass, the dribble, pass and shoot fucking thing, whatever it is. Right? Bring
Skills challenge, the slam dunk contest.
Yeah, you bring all these.
So what is it this year? Like, what's the format this year?
Celebrity game.
It's
Screw
all
the
the
celebrity
same,
game.
mate. Yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah,
It's all the same?
Yeah,
I
you
think
still have your skills, you have your you have your slam dunk, you have your 3-point contest.
I don't think they're going to
Aren't
have
they
a
doing it
celebrity
on the
game.
same day? Is it on
What's
the same
that?
day though? Is everything on the same day? I thought.
I heard
I'm
that.
not sure.
It's,
Maybe
it's the
halftime. I
night
heard.
before the game.
Oh, okay. So it's regular, like normal.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
They do it on like
Monday.
a Friday or Saturday night, and then they play the game Sunday.
Yeah.
Not this
Are they-
year.
Now, what they're gonna do this year because of COVID, who the hell knows?
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be during halftime.
You got a great voice, right?
During halftime?
Yes, that's what they're talking about. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, jeez. Well, at least they're not going to do that god-awful celebrity game. That's like a 90-minute piss break for me every time I watch the All-Star break. Jeez.
What are they doing at halftime?
They're talking about moving the skills competition to halftime.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit different. Like the format was a little bit different this year for some reason.
Because their thought process is a majority of the skills competition guys aren't going to be the all-stars in the game. That's their thought process. You know what I'm saying? To where like a lot of the stars on All-Star weekend, you know what I'm saying? Like the top names like in the game aren't also going to be in the skills competition. That's their thought process. I'm not saying that's a good move. I just don't think that. I don't think it's a good move because you're putting everything in one. Split it up. What's the difference between splitting it up and having everything the same?
It's like that. It's like the halftime show for the Super Bowl. It's going to be forever.
Yeah, so
There you
Mark
go.
says,
Oh, my bad.
Mark says.
Oh.
Marlik says.
Mark says, sorry. I kept getting pushed down. Sorry, Frank. Skills and 3-point before game and dunk at halftime, all on Sunday.
Yeah, it's all on the same day. Yeah, that's what I heard.
You don't get that Saturday night lead up.
I guess. All right. We'll do it all in one day, I guess.
Oh yeah. They're probably. You're right. They're probably all doing it in one day because there's going to be no fans in the stands or any of that.
Yeah. I would.
That's going to be terrible. It's going to be so bad.
Yeah, I don't know why they're doing the extra shit, man. Just play the game.
No,
you know what I mean?
We always
Money. Why money? It's called money, Ralph. It's called advertising.
Whatever. Do what you got to do. I don't work for the NBA. You know.
Complain about everything. I mean, this stoking a good day of skills, 3-point, some all-star bullshit up and down with the dunks, and then you get the dunk contest at halftime, and you get the second half. Good. You get it all out of the way. It's a good Sunday. It's a good Sunday to look forward to. We went 5 months without sports last year.
Oh, I know.
I'm watching everything, and that thing's coming up real soon. All right, that 1-year anniversary. So whatever you want to fucking slap, you want to put on TV that's sports related, I'm not putting my nose up to it anymore because I remember what it feels like for 5 goddamn months coming up with poll questions, conversation fucking starters. What are we going to eat for fucking breakfast? Okay, like put whatever you want on. You know what I mean? I'm in for it.
It was terrible. Sunday, I used to have it to myself, and I had to spend it with my wife. It was fucking horrible.
Ralph, why do you have an issue with it?
I would have thought it would be cool just to have it, how you always did. Saturday night, all the stuff, and then Sunday you play the game. But I'm cool. I'm cool with doing it all one day. Don't bother me.
You just sound like you're cool with it, Ralph.
Yeah, I just thought they would go the normal route, but that's all right. We'll do it all in one day.
I'm glad the NBA has your approval. I'm sure they'll
absolutely.
Good old Adam Silver loves your opinion, Ralph.
Yes, he does.
Fletcher Cox will be traded.
What's that dead cap money?
Fletcher Cox will be traded.
Let me go to the diagram. I have a diagram. Hold on.
I said this before on my show. I said a long time ago, I like Fletcher Cox, but I would have never paid him that $100 million contract. He deserved it, but I never would have paid him.
The cap hit is the cap hit is $23 million. The dead cap is $21 million. So we would save $2 million.
He's not getting good or
traded. He's getting traded then.
I mean, they already structure them, but they're sure as hell not trading them. You know, they can't take any more dead cap money. They truly can't.
Right, it'd be like $75 million in debt.
Yeah,
fucker that. Like, who the fuck are you to just keep getting hit over the head? And then you think they're not going to get bent over on that deal? I mean, we just watched them get bent over on a quarterback deal. What do you think? They're gonna, this third best D tackle in football. They'll get bent over and get like a fifth back, right? And we'll be like, what the fuck we even paid him for? You know what I mean? So to me, it's like the value you're going to get back for him at this point isn't going to be worth it, right? You're not getting a first back, and the way you draft, you might as well keep some consistency on this football team if we want to even contemplate and consider being competitive, right? Like if we really want to be like competitive at all next year, you know, you would like for Fletcher, BG to be here, right? And some of them guys that you at least Darius, that you at least know can play, so you have something to come into the year with, like, all right, maybe we can compete. All right, and we get all handsy with our fucking ball sack. In reality, we're not going to, but at least we can get a little pom-pommy, right, and hope for the best, right? So that's the only way. I mean, we start getting rid of all these guys, which I'm fine with. Like, if you're asking me, I clean the whole cupboard out right now. I empty it all out because it's restart mode anyway. But you know, in the National Football League, can you turn it around in 2 years? Sure, absolutely. Right, but that depends on who your quarterback is, right, and what you have built around them. So I don't know what direction. You know, they're going to go, and hopefully, like Durant and I went on yesterday, that it's Jalen Hurts' job to lose or not have, but he deserves a full 16. He deserves a full 16 games to determine if he's your quarterback going forward. And I know, like, I was Team Wentz, but you know they drafted him in the second round. So Cliff Notes, you know, this is how it works. He's now your guy, and you can't draft the quarterback this year. We have so many holes on this football team that you can't go that direction.
Agreed.
I want to know your guys' thoughts on that. I know me and Ryan already talked about it, but if you guys have something different or the same, I mean, feel free to add it. Like, I never thought I'd be that Team Hurts guys, but I'm like, are you guys fucking okay? I don't know if you got to hear it yesterday, but I said, are you guys fucking high? You drafted him in the second round to replace the quarterback that you just traded and took a $32 million goddamn cap hit for. You're no longer a factory once you take a cap hit of $32 million. You're no longer a factory anymore. Your factory shut down. That is your quarterback.
I'll say real quick. So Benny, I like you. There's no chance we're gonna believe you with that.
No.
Like all this thing, like, oh well, they're talking about a first and a second and then another first, and they're gonna trade up to the second over. Enough.
Which is highly likely going to be Zach Wilson, and I don't see us getting Zach Wilson one bit. I don't see us getting Sunshine one bit. I don't understand the logic why you draft a quarterback 6th overall, which is highly likely going to be Justin Fields. And, you know, I'm not high on the Ohio State quarterback trend as of right now. I'm not a fan of it. And, oh, boy, we're going to be in for a very rough ride if we draft Justin Fields at 6.
Hey, to echo Frank's point, there is no way in hell you draft a quarterback unless it's Trevor Lawrence. And obviously that's not going to happen. It's pretty well known that the Jags are taking him. I mean, we have more holes to fill than
Swiss cheese.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, does anybody here? Well, I may as well ask. Does anybody here think we have any prayer at 8 wins?
Prayer? Sure.
Yeah.
If they do, if they hit in the draft and the offensive line stays healthy, yeah. But am I counting on that? No.
No.
You need two at least starters and ballers in this draft.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Can't fucking miss. I don't care what round they are. You need 2 Pro Bowlers out of this draft. And yes, can they win 8 games? Sure, maybe if this offensive line is intact and some of these young skill position players get better, right? And Hurts develops, okay, which you got to pray for, right? And this defense still has your front 4.
You got to set a whole damn rosary for him to develop.
I mean,
you might as well have the entire rosary, the entire Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the whatever books.
Right. I mean,
other religions
obviously,
you need the whole shebang right there.
Yeah, obviously, I wanted them to keep Wentz, and I wanted them to have a competition in camp. Of course, that's not going to happen. But I mean, look, whether you had Wentz here or whether obviously the organization has decided that they're going to give Hurts a chance. I mean, unless, of course, they somehow decide that Zach Wilson's the answer or Justin Fields or you name it. But the bottom line is no matter who takes the snaps for the Philadelphia Eagles, if they don't surround them with a legitimate receiving core and a productive and most importantly healthy offensive line, then this team is going nowhere in 2021.
I said
so hold on, I heard earlier that you think we're going to get 8 wins? Because I'm way under on that.
No, I don't. I said he said, "Can you?" And I say, "Yeah." In the National Football League, you can switch it real quick. Like you can. Yeah. Do I have confidence in that? No. But if you hit,
okay.
If you hit on the draft, if you hit in the draft, and some of your young players get better, could you win 8 games? Sure. Do I believe that? Hell no. But but in reality, like surprise me. Like Jalen, like this is what I asked from Jalen Hurts. I asked you from go from a 52% completion guy to a 58. That's the jump I need to believe, right? If you want to get me believing, and I know a lot of guys on this panel believe in, I need the jump. You know, like Ben's free throw percentage, like we talked about yesterday, right? Same type of goddamn jump I need and growth from Jalen Hurts if I'm going to believe he's my guy. Because the one thing I love from a quarterback, right? The one thing I love is the ability to make plays when things break down. I think that's just a game changer in today's NFL. I think when you have that ability, right, you can create big plays. Okay, fine. He's shown he can create a splash play. Can you create big plays and be consistent inside the pocket, inside the offense, right? That's the kicker. If he can develop on that, this conversation of us having to look for a quarterback would be mute. My concern is, who the hell are you as an organization at this point, after everything you just did, that had the balls, the audacity, etc., to be even talking about a quarterback in the first round?
Yeah.
Talking about quarterback competition, period. People can tell me, well, Tom, your competition breeds greatness. Not this year, it fucking doesn't. You understand me? Years past, sure. I love competition. This year, for this organization, absolutely not. That is your guy, and we all, as fans, are owed it to, or we're owed to see if he can play or not. Okay? That's what we're owed. We're owed to be able to see that. Okay? You use a second-round pick on him for what? For what? As a gadget? Hell no. Honey. We don't get away with that here. And then you're not going to start him? I don't got to love him or not. I'm telling you how this needs to work. Period. Now, prove me wrong, Jalen. Prove the haters wrong. I don't care. I told Ryan yesterday, I'll eat fucking buckets of crow. I'll crow eat all day if he can play and be a top 10 quarterback in this league. I'll eat the crow. All right? Now, skill set, ability to make plays. Yeah, he's got a great ability to make plays outside the system. Now can you throw from the pocket, guys? And I think we can all agree if he shows the 58% completion percentage this coming year, then I think we would all be like, okay, maybe we can, even if we're not winning games, right? Even if we win 4 games and we're back in the top 5, 6 again, right? We're like, okay, at least we have a young quarterback that we believe can play, right? And I think that's the growth we need to see because, listen, I'm scared to go back to this damn well again. Listen, you're talking about if you draft a quarterback this year, 3 out of the last 6 years, you have selected a quarterback in either the first or second round. Fire fucking everybody.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
And especially if you're the Eagles and you're sitting there at 6 and Jalen is the guy, then obviously the pick would be wide receiver. Because right now you're going into camp or training camp or the offseason right now. You're gonna have no Deshaun. Okay. It's not like he played anyway. No Alshon. It's not like he played anyway. But you lost 2 guys already. So there's more holes you still got to fill.
Exactly.
So the Eagles, I mean, whether you're like it or not, it's a top 10 pick for a team that has still a lot of holes. There's still like, damn, do we go wide receiver here? Do we go corner? You know, do we go offensive line? You know, there's still
No,
because think about it. How many picks wide receivers? 3 last year, 1 with JJ. That's 4 picks, right? And you got Fulgham. Them 5 guys got to be on this roster.
But listen, they made that bed though.
Good one.
They made that bed though, Tommy.
No, you're right, Ralphie. But my point is like the same with the quarterback thing. They're almost not allowed to this year. Like, then go Pitts. You know what I mean? Then do that. But you're not allowed to go wide receiver unless all them guys, unless Sartain's not there, all them guys. Go get an identity, right? And I think that's what we need to start doing. Like, I think offensively is our best chance to be successful next year, right? Like, if I look at it on paper, there's a lot of young guys. So I want to hope. I want to pray. I don't believe in Jalen Reagor, Jalen Hurts, or any Jalen's on this football team. But I want to fucking pray to somebody, right? Like Frank was talking about all the, the Bible and everything else. Like, I want to put my hand on all of them right now and pray these guys can play. But I don't.
You're gonna be by yourself, bro, because I ain't doing that shit.
What? Put my hand on, but one of the
the Bible, the Quran, shit.
I just want to put my hand on something that can make me believe that all these young skill position players that shouldn't be, or like in the first round shouldn't be our go-to. Like, you want to talk about Najee Harris in the second, guys like that, then sure. Right, but you have linebacker issues. You have cornerback issues. You have safety issues. You're gonna have D-line issues in the future. So I mean, you got to rebuild it. And granted, now if a lot of them guys are at the table and Smith is there, and you might have to do what you have to do, right? But then again, now you're going to be getting rid of.
If Smith is there, you take him
over Sartain.
I'm not over Sartain though, man. Like Tom just said it. He just ran through the whole defense, and we have holes on every level of the defense. And I'm a stats guy, and it's a copycat league. You have to win by throwing from the pocket. When you look at your quarterback, yes, Lamar, like somebody like Lamar is great. He can scramble around. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to throw from the pocket, and that's what Jalen Hurts has. Is he great at improv? Is he great on the run? From what we've seen so far in this small selection, yes. But at the same time, that you have to be able to sit back, move the chains, make it a little dig route or out route when it's 3rd and 5, and get yourself a first down when you need it. And it's the same way with the receivers as I look at it, because I have this conversation with people. We need a number 1 receiver. We need a number 1 receiver. How many number 1 receivers have you seen win Super Bowls in the last 10 years?
Yeah.
Not many, right? Not many at all.
And I don't count Brady. Right, like I don't count Brady in that mix, right? Like okay, he's got Mike Evans and blah blah blah, right? I don't count it because it's Brady, right? So you take out Brady and you're talking about who? Like Tyreek Hill was a 5th round pick, right? So like to your point, Nate, like these like they're who? You don't need the superstar wide receiver.
You don't.
Good ones. You need damn good ones, right? And you need like how do we just win one? Right. We were talking about this. Go address. It doesn't have to be in the first round, right? But you have to address winning up front. Yes. But now this year, because there's not as much of that overload of offensive line talent and defensive line talent, go start creating something that you can fight the fire with, right? Go say, you know what? For the next 3 years, we're gonna have Darius Slay on one side and Patrick Surtain on the other, right?
I would love it.
Go create an identity.
Amazing.
Because you know what that allows us to do?
I agree, Tommy. I agree.
Dante Samuel Jr. in the second and did it first and second round. I'm not even mad at nobody, right? Because I remember Lito Sheldon days where people were like, "What are you doing?" Right? And it's like, well, this is what we're doing. We're saying we're going to cover people. Okay. So
get back to that defensive ball. Get back to that defensive bully ball. Broad Street bully shit. You know what I mean? Like, they need to go defense. I think the first 2 or 3 picks need to be defense, in my opinion.
I agree.
Real quick, and then everybody will continue to talk Eagles. We talked a ton of Sixers for the first hour of the show, so feel free to go back and listen to it. It's just we could talk to Sixers for 2 hours, but we had other things that we wanted to talk about. Obviously, Eagles, Flyers, and some Phillies talk before we wrap it up. So we wanted to make sure we circled the board. So now we're just in our Eagles time here, which is always relevant on every show because we even when we're not good, and
they're always front news.
Always front page news. So I hope that they're playing coy. Me and Rye, again, nothing else we talked about yesterday, but you hope they're playing coy with this whole situation. A quarterback in the first round, maybe they trade back, acquire more picks, stockpile some picks for next year, because I feel like if they don't believe Jalen Hurts is the guy, they're going to want a ton of assets, as they love to say it, for the following year. Now, me, and I want your guys' opinion on this, I don't give a shit. You already made that deal. You got 2 first rounders next year, so shut up about assets. Okay, so now I want the best player at 6. I didn't win 4 goddamn games, right, to not get the best player at 6. Okay, I'm not in this for you to trade back to 15 where I don't believe you're going to hit anymore. Now, if you believe a guy like Kyle Pitts can fall to 15, if you believe that, right, then be my guest. If you believe Patrick Surtain has a shot getting there, be my guest. Right, there's no shot. Right, that Surtain's not there.
No.
Right, so,
or if they, I get you. Or if they like Farley more than Surtain, and they'll let somebody take. You know what I mean? Like I don't like. I'm saying if they do.
Foolish, Greg. If they believe that. If they believe that, that's foolish.
There's no way Surtain gets past the Cowboys. There is no way.
No.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But they have 2 young corners too there.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say something for them. That'd be a curveball for a lot of teams if they took them, because they just got Diggs and they got Awuzie.
Awuzie, yeah.
I always get his name.
Isn't he a free agent, Awuzie?
Chidobe Awuzie.
No, I think he might be still on his rookie deal.
Chidobe Awuzie?
Yeah.
But Tommy, here's an argument I'll make to stockpiling picks for additional years. Is if we stink again, a new GM is making those picks, in theory, right? So that's the only argument I'll make is if we stockpile enough picks going forward, at least a new GM can have the ammunition to retool.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, but he's not going to.
And that doesn't make us as fans happy.
Yeah, but Howie ain't going nowhere, man.
I was going to say we could go 2-14 next year, and Howie will still be here.
Yeah, I was going to say, did somebody really just talk about a new GM? Like what? You know what I'm saying?
The rumors are that in his contract when he signed to be the GM, the fine print says he has to get through 10 head coaches before we can let him go. He's only on 4, so we got 6 more to go.
Ralph, that was
real quick, what are you talking about, Eagle Slayer? He's a big corner. Surtain's a big corner.
He's 6'2".
Yeah, who's that guy? What? He's huge.
He's considered a big boy. I don't know what you're saying. Know what I will do though? If and I don't know where the hell they get the money for it, but I would get cute this way. If you don't draft Surtain, go sign Awuzie, because I like Awuzie. Like he played well up until this year. He had a lot of good. To me, he was a good corner there. Him and Byron Jones.
Now, how much money do we even have?
There's the key you just said, right? Yeah, it was next to Byron Jones. So you come to Philly, you're in that same situation where you got another guy next to you that helps you out.
Now you know who I want though. I want Surtain, but if you don't get him or can't get him, that's why I've seen a lot of draft boards have Surtain going to the Cowboys.
Yeah, 10.
Why? Like they have 2 young corners. Like why are they going corner? Which it didn't make sense. But now he's a free agent. Okay.
Yeah, they've got like half of their defense is like a free agent. You've got Awuzie, you've got Xavier Rhodes, and you've got Jordan Lewis, all free agents. So the only two guys that are locked up in their entire secondary is Donovan Wilson and Trayvon Diggs. Everyone else is a free agent.
Good luck.
So they have to completely rebuild the entire
on the
thing.
older side.
Now, does anybody know how much money the Eagles will have going into free agency?
It's going to change every
like
2
2
seconds.
million, probably.
While you guys are looking up that, I always see in the comments.
Not enough. Let's put it that way.
What's the love for Pitts? Like, I don't understand the love. This love for Pitts.
You could do.
I didn't understand it either. And I said, and I watched plenty of Florida games, and I was like, maybe I missed it. And then I just I went back, and obviously it's a highlight film, and I take that for what it is. But then when I see a guy going up and getting balls in double coverage, right, and making catches, you're like, okay. Or you're going to line up on the outside and you're beating corners one-on-one because you're 6'6" and you're a mismatch nightmare, or you're beating linebackers one-on-one because your speed's too much for him and your size is too much for him. That's where I started getting like, oh, okay, it's just a flat-out weapon. This is just a versatile 6'6" touchdown machine, and I started
6'6", 250, runs a 4.5.
Catches everything. When he wasn't in the offense, Kyle Trask looked like he can't play. You know what I mean? It's that simple, which tells me how good he is. Not that, and Trask still had a really money year, and Pitts missed games. But when Pitts was on the field, it's attractive to me more so than all mine was. Is more so than Jamar Chase. Pitts is more attractive to me because Chase can just play the outside. He's never played the slot. Now Smith has played slot outside, so I love Smith because of his versatility. I need versatility. I need a route runner, somebody knows how to get off the line, get off bump and run coverage, right? And a 6'6" guy like himself, you go put him on the outside versus a corner. There ain't a corner in football that's going to up and making plays on the ball when you're talking about a guy that size. So that's where it sort of came in at. I don't know if it's all fair. It might be top 10 might be too high for him. You know what I mean? So maybe that's the situation where you trade back a little bit for him if that's your guy. But
I get that he's a talent, right? I get his talent, but how does he fit? Like, and not everything. Like, what's our offense even going to look like, right? Do we even know what that is? What our offense is going to look like under? What's our head coach name? I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Sirianni.
Yeah,
he likes running the 12 man.
I have a little respect for the Italians, babe. All right, you know what I mean? Sirianni. I mean, give the guy good.
Sirianni.
Yeah, Nick. Yeah, Nick. Fucking stick. You know what I mean? He'll be fired in 2 years, or he can't run out quick enough.
Because what was the Colts offense like, right? Or was that more Frank Reich than was Sirianni?
Mm-hmm. They love using tight ends and love running the ball. So
we're yet to see. People love to give Sanders his flowers, but we've yet to see him be the bell cow.
That's why you need to bring in. That's why you need to draft Najee Harris in the second, is to run him alongside of Miles, then grab Pitts or another weapon, and then you go. Then you go rolling.
Right. If it wasn't frowned upon, I'll take him at fucking 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? If it wasn't frowned upon, like doing that, like Najee Harris to me is that good of a running back. Like I would go to bed. Go to bed because he's going to put his foot in the damn ground and he's going to run somebody over. All right, something Miles won't do. And now Miles' 12 touches become more explosive because you have that type of back around them. Like, go have an identity. Go say, I'm going to pound the ball down your throat. Right? You have a running quarterback. Right? RPO City. Right, Greg? RPO City. It then have an identity that we're going to pound the football and it's going to create wide open receivers because you're not going to know what's hitting you. You got to create that identity then. If that's the direction you're going to go. Now, I would never take Najee at 6. Well, you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, I would use that.
Drunk?
I would use my first round pick, or I would use that Colts conditional, right? That the second could be a first. I would use that and something else to get up into the first round again. If I feel like he's not getting out of there, and go get him. You know what I mean? I would do that for Najee. Like if I had Surtain and Najee Harris, and I got 2 Bama boys, let's go to work. I'm getting winners. Create a culture.
He's the best running back in the draft. He's the best running back in the draft. And Tim, the other guy is Travis Etienne from Clemson.
That's right. Like that's Miles Sanders light. I love Etienne, but he's Miles Sanders light. I mean, Najee Harris is your prototypical running back. And if I could walk, that's what I'm looking to do in this draft. I'm looking to go to them big schools and then winning schools that have a ton of talent coming out this year and going and capitalizing on some of them damn winners, right? Surtain's a winner, Smith's a winner, right? Najee's a winner. Jamar Chase is a winner. Like, go capitalize on some damn winners. Go create a culture of guys that are walking in that are pro-ready, right? You go to the SEC, you're walking out with guys that are pro-ready guys. It's time to go there. It's time to eat, and it's time to start acting like we know how to draft talent. Because I just named a bunch of guys right there that if you want to be aggressive, that you can walk out with 2 big-time players in this draft if you want to do it the right way. You have 2 third-round picks, right? Use both of them. Get up into the second round for a guy if you need to, right? I mean, I'm forgetting the linebacker's name at LSU. There's another good one coming out. Jabril Cox, maybe.
Yes.
Like, go. I mean, then do that. You need impact, star type caliber players, and go look at what other teams around National Football League are doing. Go create an identity, right? I'm gonna punch you in the mouth, and I'm drafting winners, and let's fucking go, Howie Nerd Roseman, because I'm sick of this shit. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, and I totally agree with what you were saying earlier, Tommy, where this year, the first round and the second round, you have to hit. Just because of the situation you're in this year with the cap. Like, you probably won't be getting that many free agents in unless they're guys that are on the tail end of their career and you can get them for cheap. Yeah. Other than that, this draft for Howie Roseman, yet again, welcome back, is another huge draft.
Exactly.
He has to hit. Has to.
Because I think the past couple drafts for Howie, let's just say it, they've been bad.
Horrible. Frank, horrible.
Like, the only draft I could say in Howie 2.0 that I could even consider good was the 2017 draft. But I understand a lot of those guys, I mean, are no longer on the roster, but those guys were pieces to that Super Bowl team.
Yeah, I was going to say, Frank, what was good about that draft? That was probably the worst one.
I mean, they all had like almost all those picks had a role in that Super Bowl team. But I mean,
who? Other than Barnett, who?
Other than I mean, just Barnett. I mean, Gary on the special team.
No, there's 7 other picks. There were 7 other picks that draft. So no. So they didn't have an impact on the Super Bowl.
But they had some, in some capacity, a role in that Super Bowl roster.
Where?
We'll just put it like this: Derek Barnett had a role and made a big play, and it looked like that was a good pick. But at the end of the day, when you're not drafting Pro Bowl players in any rounds, you're going to be a 4-win football team, okay? And people complain all that on the former quarterback who's not here anymore. Let the ex-girlfriend go. Now, how do we figure out how to move forward with this football team? How do we figure out how to build this football team again? All right, what do we do? When we are ready to win. So, like, next year we're going to have, not this year, next year we're going to have like 40-something million, if not more, to spend. Okay, there's going to be a lot of money to spend next year. So you can flip the switch really quick here. Okay, if you draft right this year, if you draft right over the next 2 years, okay, if they draft right and walk away with, say, all the picks they're going to have, okay, they're going to have a lot of picks already, okay? You're talking about maybe 3 first-rounders over the next 2 years. So that means I need to be walking away in some fashion with 5 Pro Bowl players if we're going to rebuild this, okay? 5. All right, that's a lot of picks. 5.
He hasn't drafted 5 starting players in the last 5 years, 10 years. So now we're asking, and you're not wrong, right? You're absolutely right. If we're going to rebuild this and we're going to retool, you need to hit on those picks. That's the problem, right? It's the hitting on the picks. Yeah. And you know me, everyone knows me. I love a good trade back and collect more assets. But you keep trading back and collecting more assets for who? Howie's not hitting on these picks, right? Derek Barnett might have been the only thing, and we're getting ready to cut him.
Yeah.
Right? Or they can't
extend them. So, how good of a pick was that then?
Was it?
Another guy that can't live out his contract or even stay in Philly for a second round or a second time, through a contract.
Yeah.
Well, you know why, Jesse? Because all them picks weren't his. All them Super Bowl guys were not his picks. But the Cox, Brandon Graham, they weren't his picks. A lot were Andy leftovers, Chip picks. Okay, they weren't his picks.
Lane and Ertz for Chip.
Yeah, when he got thrown to the forefront.
It was a Chip, yeah.
When he got thrown to the forefront from 2016 on, The only pick he made that was a Pro Bowler or caliber Pro Bowler was the guy he gave up a ton of assets to go get, which was Carson Wentz, who he gave a ton of money for and then traded. Okay, that's the only impactful guy out of all his picks. Think about that. Think about that. I mean, he has struggled big time to find stars, and I don't know how you get out of it. And you it's got to be a miracle. It's got to be a situation where you don't 5 picks, right? You know, 5 picks, and then you have $40 million, and Jalen can play, and now you're all giddied up, right? Now we're all like, look at us, we're back, baby. And he gets lucky and gets a 20-year extension.
We pull the chair out, we go on Broad Street, and we just sit there.
How long do you
Hey, fellas, that's my time.
See you, Nate.
Later,
See
Nate.
you, brother.
See you, Nate.
As
Later,
will I.
Nate.
I got work tomorrow, so
See you, Frank.
Nate?
See you, Frank.
I'm off to go to Cancun.
Yep. See you, Frank.
How long do you guys think, okay, you have to wait to be a Super Bowl contender again? Like, we're not even talking about this being a contender for a division. How long do you think that wait is? We talked
Well,
about
hell, we could contend for the division right now and only win 6 games. That's how awful
I
the
disagree. I disagree with that, Noah. I disagree with that.
who?
I think if Washington can find a if Washington can find a quarterback, I think they might have the division for a good 2
They
to 3
don't even
years.
have a team name yet. How are they supposed to find a
They're a
quarterback?
good football team. They're a good football
They have the
team.
structure, Noah.
They do. They're just
I mean,
they
they
need
have a good
quarterback.
they have a good defense, but
They need a
Dallas.
quarterback.
Dallas is better.
huh?
How long have we been saying that about Dallas, Tom?
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
If Dak Prescott doesn't get hurt, they're going to win this division. Most likely. Most likely, I would assume they win the division if Dak Prescott's healthy.
But do you think they actually do make any noise in the playoffs?
No. We're just talking about the team in this division. Like if Dak's with Dallas, they have the best quarterback. So I would put my money on them being, you know what I mean. I'm not crowning them that they can win 9 fucking games. You know what I mean? That's all.
I'll say this. I'll give you guys a scenario. I won't even go to the Deshaun Watson thing, okay? Which we all know, and I know Yusuf's watching somewhere whispering and freaking smiling about that, okay? But say, for example, they get the quarterback I think they're going to get, and that's Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold on Washington for the next 5 years. Do you think that, with also improvements of the offensive line, we know what their defense is, and we know how good Ron Rivera is as a head coach. We know they have weapons on the outside, and we know they have a good running game. Do you think that's good enough to not own this division, but to be the best or the second best team in the division for the next handful of years?
No.
Okay.
It's because I don't believe in Darnold.
Yeah, I mean, you're putting a lot of stock in Darnold taking that next step, and he didn't really take a huge step this year.
No.
The guy I'd be scared of is if Dallas screws this up and Dak Prescott goes there. Then
I don't think he leaves.
Then
Dallas.
yes, that your conversation. We can have that conversation then.
Yes.
If Dallas screws that up and doesn't either extend him or franchising him to keep him around, then yeah, I mean, I would put Dallas ahead. Tom, to your question, how long? I mean, if we're talking true Super Bowl contender, I mean, I think anything less than 5 years is a miracle. You know what I mean? I think you're at minimum 2 years to the division. You know, because every team's going to improve. I think you're minimum 2 years to a division. Yeah.
You think that? That's not me being a pom-pommer.
No, I do.
2 years? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean,
because regardless of how we think, right? New York thinks they got their quarterback. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And then whatever. And then you even said, Dallas is better than Washington, especially with Dak, and I would completely agree with that. But where does Dak sign long term, or is he a 1 year there? Right? And if Dak leaves, that kind of opens up the division again on that second year.
Ben DiNucci at quarterback for the Cowboys.
Thanks, Jesse.
Thanks, Jesse.
Greg, when you say New York believes they have their quarter, are you talking about New York, the fans, or New York, the organization?
I would have to think the organization, They stuck with him all year.
Well, I don't disagree with you, but the rumor that came out yesterday was that New York and Gettleman contacted Seattle and Russell Wilson through back channels to see
who would it.
Well, I hear
you know what I mean? Like,
I hear you.
Yeah,
that's
top three
like
quarterback.
Houston
Top three quarterback on the market. You
like
better
Houston
be reaching out.
calling the Sixers, be like, hey, what Ben Simmons?
Yeah,
Ben Simmons, or even Morey saying James Harden. What's it going to take?
Yeah,
Ben and Maxey. All right, we're good. Thank you.
Honest with you guys, and this might be pom-pommy, but like the way the NFL is structured, okay, if Hurts can play, right, which I don't believe that. I need to see that, right? If he can play, the amount of cap flexibility you're going to have moving forward and draft capital, right? It can be quicker than you think it is.
Well,
right? Because
agreed.
Because like Jesse's right, and we appreciate the tip, Jesse, that QBs need to be on rookie deals to win chips. True, to a point, unless you're Brady, Manning, guys like that, it makes it easier money-wise, but especially a second-round pick. Because now you're using even less money on that guy. So that's another reason Jalen Hurts needs to see. You just need to let it go. See if he can play. Because what's the worst that happens?
If Jalen Hurts is legit, they can be back and be a legitimate playoff, win a couple games in the playoff contender next season. Not this coming season, but the following. Because if Jalen Hurts is legit and the team shows an identity on offense, right? Say Rager develops a little bit, say Miles bounces back, say Dallas is able to show he's a true number one tight end. Not even superstar, we just know he could be your guy. And Sirianni shows that he can coach. Well, then to your point, Tom, and what their master plan is, if they're able to hit on a couple guys in the draft and not completely screw this up, is that entering next offseason, they're going to be able to save $44 million. They're going to have a ton of draft assets. So then they'll be able to do something like Miami did, Indianapolis has done, to where, hey, we have a bunch of picks and money, and then they can go splash. You know what I'm saying? To where now we're going
like the Rams did, right? Too, where now you just go get your quarterback that's already somewhere where it's not a good situation for him, etc., and you go use your assets that way. I agree. I agree that Hurts could surprise people too, to a point. Like me and Greg have been critical of him for a while, going back to his college days in terms of throwing from the pocket. But we all agreed on one thing, that he's a hard ass worker. So I'm going to pray that he can get better. And if he does, I'm telling you, like, you can surprise people this year, and not in terms of winning playoff games. I'm just
absolutely
like, can you win 10 games next year in the NFL? You fucking absolutely can. If your young players show a pulse and this guy shows he can be a legit franchise quarterback, you can go win games.
Sure. Now, but in my obviously scenario, I don't see that happening, right? But you're absolutely correct, right? If he can throw it 62%, have an impact, all over the field. If we run the ball enough that allows our wide receivers to get open every once in a while and catch a football, sure. You're absolutely right, Tom. I mean, if he takes that step and is truly that guy, there's no question. We could be right there. I just, like you said, I don't think it's going to happen.
But do you think he can take the next step with the wide receivers and the talent that you're surrounding him on the offensive side of the ball?
Well, the running game should be there, right?
You would hope so. You would hope.
That's my biggest thing, though, is where's the talent?
And that's why I said earlier, if you're at 6 and you think Jalen is the guy, why not go out and get him a weapon at 6, like a Smith, or if Jamar Chase is still there at 6? Why not and go out and get him a guy that he can grow with? If you think Jalen Hurts is the guy moving forward for the organization.
To that point, though, and I'm all good in a lot of directions they go in that 6th pick, as long as it's not quarterback. If they go, defense is retained, I probably would huff it at Rousseau, the D end, but I also would understand it, especially if you cut Derek Barnett. Kind of to that point, you got to start recycling, especially if that Fletcher Cox theory or rumor, right?
If they traded back and took him, I'd be okay with it. If they took him at 6, I'm throwing stuff at the TV.
Yeah, I'm a little upset. But Ralphie, Jalen Hurts or whoever's the quarterback, you need weapons.
Yeah.
But how many are you going to use? Is my question to you guys. You drafted 3 last year. You drafted 1 the year before.
I hear you. I hear you.
One in the first, one in the second. All right. Then you drafted a running back in the second year before. Weapons doesn't necessarily need to be a wide receiver, right? We talked about Pitts. We talked about, okay, maybe you don't go weapon in the first round, but you go Najee Harris in the second, right? So there's a weapon, right? Weapons don't necessarily have to be that, right? Maybe you go offensive line in the second. I don't know, whatever. But you go and you address things that are going to help your quarterback out, which we didn't do for Carson, down the stretch, right? We lack that, right? You're going to need to run the Jalen Reagors, Hightowers, Quez Watkins, JJs, Fulghams. You're going to have to run them guys out this year because of money. Now if you draft Smith, obviously, or Chase, then that's going to change. But, you could go Pitts and Najee Harris and come out of this draft feeling extremely talented offensively coming in the next year, right? Like, I think we came out of this draft with those guys, hypothetically, right? Hypothetically, wherever you drafted them at, okay? Either you trade it back for Pitts, fine, okay? Right, guys? I think we would all come out of this draft saying, okay, we just got 2 playmakers offensively. We would feel better about our offense. We would feel like that we could score 24 plus a game if Jalen's better.
You know who I would feel like, Tom? Because you're right. I'd feel like we were the Dallas Cowboys of last year, where you can score 35-40, but you're giving up 35-40.
Yeah, you're giving up 40 points, but yeah. And
So,
it doesn't. And then at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, right? You know what I mean? Like those 40 points you scored doesn't matter because your defense sucks and is letting up 50. So it doesn't even matter.
Appreciate
John,
it.
thanks, brother.
When
Thanks,
That's
John.
the goal. That's the goal, John.
Like honestly, Tom, it would be one of those things where, like, I feel like Howie Roseman would be going into the press conference quoting Baker Mayfield saying he woke up this morning feeling dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I drafted the splashy moves, a tight end that's not even really a tight end when we already have a tight end, and a running back who we already have a running back, but they're both star talents and flashy talents, but also realizing, hey, do we have any defense? Like, do we have any? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be feeling really excited.
2 third-round picks would go there. Your 2 third-round picks would obviously have to be defensive side of the football.
And another thing on the defensive side, we won't have Rodney, right? Because he's out. He's almost going to be out half of the year with the knee, right?
He'll be back in like October, November-ish.
He'll be close. He'll be close. Listen, if you're watching over on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, wherever you're watching at, pound that like button, family. Get more of the family in here.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, John, 6 years ago when the idea came up, it was to have that feel, brother. Yeah, he's right. Kevon, he's got to show he can play. Davion Taylor has to show he can step up.
A lot of guys got to step up this year. Lot.
I'm sorry, but these other guys, Jalen Reagor, Quez Watkins, John Hightower,
Bradley.
Yeah, like you got to run out. You're gonna have to run out a lot of young players, and hopefully they can show that some of these guys can either show they have a skill set that belongs in this league, or you say, oh shit, you know what? None of these worked out. Now we got to go back to the well again.
Yeah,
which could be very true the following year. Either way, if you start hitting now, you can get yourself back in good shape.
Isn't it crazy though that to that point, right? We're looking for 4th round, 5th round, 6th round, 7th round picks, undrafted guys to step up because we've missed so much in the first half of the draft that when a guy like TJ Edwards, right, or Jordan Mailata show a pulse that they can play a little bit, and I'm not, no crown, where everyone gets jacked up over it because we've missed so much.
Marlik says Dillard better be ready to step up. I completely agree.
Absolutely.
First round pick. Has to show he can be.
No, I agree.
Has to show he can be a Pro Bowl caliber left tackle. Like, that's what you drafted him to be. Like, the excuse game for all these young guys is over.
I'm going to give you 4 names, okay? And I'm not saying it would be, the first 2 would be in this order, but 4 out of the first 5 names in the draft that you take. If you came out of it and you're looking back after draft weekend and you say you came out with Kyle Pitts, with Asante Samuel Jr., with Jabril Cox, and Master Teague. So you're going tight end, tight end with Pitts, the cornerback with Asante Samuel, Jabril Cox with linebacker, and Master Teague running back. You cool with that?
Yeah,
you're basically going offense, defense, offense, defense.
Yeah, I don't love Master Teague, but I like the premise.
Okay.
He runs hard. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. I think he runs hard and I'll buy into that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if you're coming out with, the top 1 or 2 tight end, you know what I mean? The top, a top 5 corner in the draft, a serviceable running back from a big program, I'm in.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. Like if you're just showing you're going to the big schools and grabbing the big boys, right? And that's what I want. Like like we can talk about draft and circle the board a million times, but I need you to go to the big schools and go get the big boys.
Yeah, none of the small school bullshit no more, Tommy.
No, I better know who you're picking. That's
Yeah.
Like,
go big or go home, baby.
Yeah. SEC or bust. That's it.
Yep.
Like it ain't even like you ain't going to the Big Ten. You're not going to Mika Parsons. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is SEC or bust. The first 4 picks in this draft because you have a first, a second, and 2/3. To me, it's SEC. It's SEC or bust. I mean, there's some Big Ten guys I'll take. You know what I mean? Obviously, but it's big school stuff. It's big school talk. It's Ohio States of the world. It's it's not Stanford. It's not
It's not TCU.
Okay, it's big boy football.
Rager.
Yeah, I saw some page post about like the TCU safety, and I'm like, I threw up in my mouth. I'm like, it's almost like the University of Washington, like when they took Thibault, and I'm like, nope, I'm done. I'm done with UW. After Sidney Jones, after Fulton, I'm done.
We'll draft them. We'll draft.
And another thing too, and we touched on this yesterday, Tom. For everyone saying, Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith or bust, because there's so many question marks and there's so much youth on the wide receivers, and you got to figure out if a lot of them can play because, you have years of control with these guys and they're high, asset picks, a lot of them. I could see them instead of going high up in the draft, and this is not going to be as splashy, but taking a lower level free agent signing to kind of intertwine some veteran presence and true NFL talent along with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like a Sammy Watkins. I don't want him because he's on the field for like 2. That's like another Deshaun Jackson thing. Will Fuller's another
just
one.
Bringing a veteran to teach these young guys up, basically.
Yeah,
just a cheap guy. Like the guy I always mentions, Corey Davis. I think you can get him for cheap.
Good one out there. Like, you know what I mean? To me, you are not in even flex capability to bring in anybody at the wide receiver position unless it's your first round pick, right? Like you're not in that position. Like even for like $2.5 million, like no, like you have so many holes defensively that you have to figure out how to fill out, right? Like you have 5 guys under control coming into this year that are young players, and that's not even counting Greg Ward. So you have 6 wide receivers that are younger guys that you are going to have to run out there, and Marquise Goodwin that you're bringing back. So you're going to there's 7 guys right there. They'll probably draft another one in this draft at some point, right? So you're talking about so many which is fine, all right. But you can't. Like this year isn't the year. Go bring up that list. I want a list of you guys that might get cut from other places or free agents that can play corner for cheap, right? Or play slot corner for cheap. They can play maybe safety for cheap. They can play linebacker for cheap. Like anybody I'm looking at that I can spend $2.5 million on, it's gonna need to be on the defense side of the football. You know what I mean? And that's not like any other year. I completely agree. Like, go get a veteran, right? Like you need a veteran to teach you guys. Nope, you don't, because you had enough veterans and they all got hurt. So now you just got to go accept it for a year, right? And then the following year, like we talked about yesterday, Rye, then you can go dabble in that. Even them Sammy Walker, Marvin Jones of the world. You can dabble in them older guys if these guys don't work out, right? But you have to let them run.
I'd rather hold out, figure out exactly who Rager, Fulgham, Ortega, Umbrella Boy, etc. I'd rather figure out who they are in a year where we have limited expectations anyway, knowing that if you look at you can go ahead and look at it. I'm not going to do it because we're like over a year away from it. But if you look at the wide receivers that are going to be available this time next year, it's worth waiting for. It's like, Ralphie, we always talk about in the NBA. Like how many times we were like, oh, we're star hunting, right? We're star hunting.
Yeah.
Just hold out for that next year. because that class of free agents is so good. It's so good. And with the money, and if you do have, hey, we have full confidence in Jalen Hurts, he's our guy, and we have X, Y, and Z that we know could be a part of the young core, while also having a young, growing, also cheap defense that we used a lot of assets in the draft. This is all, by the way, speculating if Howie Roseman actually does his job correctly. But if in some world, if that happens, now you can say, hey, let's make a splash here and do like we talked about.
Going out on a limb there, Ryan.
Hey, Noah, listen, I gotta project one way. You know what I'm saying? I gotta reach some way. And like
Ian, I got a question for you. Ian, it seems like you're from Boston. We appreciate the tuning in, the love. How'd you become a Cowboys fan over a Patriots fan?
That run, right? Through that run. Let me ask another question, because Marky Mark, they're not even asking us a question, just make a statement. Marky Mark says, everybody right about the first round pick, we need a complete draft to turn the team around. Absolutely. Marky Mark, that's why you don't go anybody outside of big schools, 1 through 7. It's not like a small school period. It's big boy football all the way through. There's enough talent coming out that in 7 rounds you can go big boy football all the way through. Done and done. Even in the 7th round, draft the fucking LSU guy. I don't even care if he was on their fucking practice squad. You know what I mean? I don't even give a shit. Draft him. Greg, what was that little question you brought up?
Oh yeah, my buddy Drew sent us a question. Sent me a question on Sunday after our show. Agree or disagree? Howie Roseman does not want fans back.
Agree.
Because he's going to get
100%.
absolutely roasted.
Yep.
Howie's gonna pull Roger Goodell when the first game of the year was in New England. Remember, and he didn't show up. Remember that whole thing was opening night. He's not gonna be. He's going to freaking Cancun. He's not gonna be in the city. He's hiding in the basement of the NovaCare complex if fans are back. You kidding?
Yeah, because
hey, why not? Ted Cruz did.
I see. I put it on a tee. I knew somebody was going to say it. I knew.
We all knew what it was.
Yeah, well, Noah made sure we all knew.
That's great.
Good job, Noah.
But yeah, Tommy was talking about the Fire Howie shirts, and my buddy thought of that. I'm like, he's absolutely right. Yeah, I absolutely agree. There's no shot, and especially if they start bad, right? Jalen Hurts throws a pick in the first series, or Worm burns a ball. Oh, it's that stadium's going to go bananas.
Speaking of throwing,
wide open, or
yes, no, speaking of throwing, you might see some people throwing batteries again. You know what I'm saying at Howie? You know what I'm saying? It's not just going to be booing
through the glass. They'll be fucking breaking. They're going to need bulletproof glass in there. Now, if he hits picks, he's going to be strutting. You know what I mean? And he's
it's Howie Hero again. Howie Hero 2.0.
Yeah. Listen. Ricky,
we have so many holes on this team. We got to hope that guys like Alex Singleton at linebacker from last year, who showed some promise at times, let's hope he can play and continue to grow. Those are guys that we're going to need. We're going to need to see continuous improvement from him.
That's the absolute scary part about this whole thing, and it's kind of what I was mentioning earlier, and I saw someone need breakout years from Josh Sweat, Kayvon Wallace. These guys are all low level, these guys are good hits if you have other talent around them to complete a team. Right. These guys shouldn't be guys that we should let's build our linebacking core around Alex Singleton, who was last playing in the Canadian Football
Alex
League.
Singleton, Singleton should be a role player, but because our defense is so god awful, most likely he's going to be starting for us next year.
There's no question.
The best organizations have those guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't disagree with anything you're saying, and I know it's kind of like we're playing with fire to say, oh my God, we need X, Y, and Z player to really step up, but the best organizations have, like we saw in 2017, the Corey Clements, who, went undrafted, the Patrick Robinsons, who was just a guy coming into camp, et cetera, et cetera. The guys the hidden guys that you find.
You're talking about rotational third round filler pieces that aren't starters is a different scenario.
Yes.
That's more
Like,
filling out your roster.
We're trying to make them starters.
Yeah, we don't even have the roster filled out. That's the problem. Like, once you fill out the roster out, it looks great coming in, in his role, right? But like this year, he's going to be forced to probably start, right? But you're going to see, depending on who you draft, you're going to need to see T.J. Edwards. You're going to need to see Davion Taylor. You're going to need to see Kayvon Wallace. You're going to need to see, all these younger guys that you've drafted, right? Josh Sweat, needs to get snaps. Like, it's just the way it's got to be, and then whatever you draft this year, it's just there's no other way. There's no other way to go about it. But then this year that you just see what all these guys are. But like, what I mean? It's just it's not like
fellas.
Starters. You're in trouble. You know what I mean? You're not. To me, you're not a top 15 defense if that's your linebacking core.
Yep.
And that's the problem.
You guys,
it's like the shooter in the NBA, right? On a bad team that scores 30, but they're 10 and 30. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're 10. No, like I'm talking about like, well, maybe if they end up going really bad and tanking it, yeah. Or like the Bradley Beal effect, which is not a Bradley Beal because he's a stud. But like, think about when the Sixers were bad and we would crown like Tony Roten for like 18, right? For like getting 18, and you're like, oh my God, Tony Roten. We could build around Tony Roten. No, he stinks. It's a terrible team that has 7 wins. You know what I mean? Like we're 7 and whatever.
Somebody has to step up.
Somebody's going to score. So it's the same thing with like Alex Singleton. Like somebody's going to have tackles. Like, you know what I mean? Like there was no splash.
Right. The question is, will they make the tackle for loss or will they make the tackle 30 yards down the fucking field?
Yeah.
You guys
like energy, but like, I need to go get a middle fucking linebacker, please.
Who was the linebacker? I think he played his college ball at Nebraska, but Jim Schwartz was dumb enough to have him cover Chase Claypool.
Oh, Nate Gary?
Nate Gary, right?
Eagles legend Nate Gary?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. Yeah, he's gone.
He is gone. Okay.
Please. Oh, wait. Did we cut him?
No, he's just a free agent, and they wouldn't dare bringing him back.
Are you kidding me? They would absolutely dare.
No, because Jim's gone. Jim is gone. He's not the obsessive. You know what I'm saying? All his guys are going to be gone now. And plus, you see
Jesse, thanks, brother.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thanks, Jesse.
They're moving Javon Hargrave, or not Javon Hargrave, the other guy. The guy
Avery.
Jackson.
Jannard Avery, yes. Jannard Avery is getting moved to linebacker.
What?
Oh, joy. Oh, joy.
What? Linebacker?
Yes.
Who said that?
Jannard Avery.
Yeah, I saw Johnny Video Boy post something like a couple days ago. But to me, that looked like the videos that he was doing last year in the offseason. Like getting ready to gear up to play defensive end. Another one of Howie's wonderful moves, giving up a 3rd-round pick for that.
Hey, it was a 4th.
Was it a 4th? I thought it was a 3rd.
It doesn't matter. Either way, it was bad.
Doesn't matter. That didn't help.
No.
Linebacker.
Not when that's your only.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't even think he didn't even play. He didn't even play linebacker at Cleveland.
This is what we're doing now. Like, we're in such dire needs that we're going to the Canadian fucking Football League, moving Jannard Avery
Here you go.
to linebacker.
Yep.
They're trying to find a role for him. It's Howie Roseman trying to justify the trade. And they're like,
the smartest man in the room.
Yep.
Here we go yet again.
The ability to get after the quarterback when they traded a 4th-round pick isn't good enough anymore. So we're going to move a guy who doesn't even look like he can play linebacker or linebacker. Okay.
Howie Roseman is going to be on draft night. He's going to say, hey, guys, what do you want to do? Take Jabril Cox or move Jannard Avery to linebacker? Oh, let's go Jannard Avery to linebacker instead of taking a guy who's pretty good that you can get for cheaper. 3rd round.
There's a punter still here from Old Dominion we can take. We
can turn him into a wide receiver / cornerback.
I think Davion Taylor could be a good outside linebacker because he has speed. Like, I don't know if he can play, but because he has speed, right? Like in cover guys, you would think could be like a good, like maybe he could play outside linebacker, but you're going to move Jannard Avery there. And then what, he's going to play over a guy you drafted in the third round, the playoffs?
Yeah. So what does that say? So what does that say about Davion Taylor then?
To me, it doesn't.
And what does that say about Davion Taylor in the third round? He's not ready to play. Year 2, he's already bumped down the depth chart already. By a guy that played defensive line his whole entire career so far.
Yeah, Ralphie, it tells me that Sean Bradley, Davion Taylor, and TJ Edwards flat out suck. That's what it tells me.
Pretty much.
And I don't know Davion Taylor sucks yet. I would assume he does because it's a Howie Roseman draft pick, and one would just assume that he stinks. But
I would assume he does too if you're having Gerard Avery become another linebacker, Tommy. I would assume that too, brother.
And if you had Nate Gary playing over him, and Davion Taylor couldn't even, like, as bad as the linebacking group was, this was before Alex Singleton finally got playing time. Like, Davion Taylor couldn't even beat out Nate Gary for the job. And it's not like Nate Gary was getting paid money.
No, but I knew this was like a project they wanted to bring along. So that's why I will give it one.
Another project guy.
No, I hear you. I'm not. This isn't a crown fest, gentlemen. This is just me telling you how it is. Like, I understood coming in that this was a project linebacker. I disagree with immensely, but I still understood, right?
No, I get you.
So now it's a year. Can you play? You know what I mean? Now there's no like excuse. Like, no, it's the same thing with like Jalen Reagor and the rest of these guys. No, you run him out there every fucking snap this year. And if he stinks, then guess what? We find things out.
Nick Foles checks
Nick's
in
the house. Hey, Nick.
And if he stinks, we win 3 games.
I think if he's good, we win 3 games, but that's beside the point.
That's pretty much.
Nick Foles checks in. He says, Alex Singleton, Davion Taylor, Sean Bradley, and Jannard Avery, the most feared linebacking core in the NFL. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate the support there, Nicky. Joe H says, I can see the Eagles trading back in the draft to a team in the teens or 20s so they can get a first-round pick next year and hope Wentz gets another first-round pick. That's 3 firsts. I'm all for it.
I'm not. And then miss it.
I'm not a 20. I don't feel
teens or 20s? I need a guy that can play now, man.
I want my money and I need it now.
Step in day one, man, and just put up.
We think he's going to hit there again. You know what I mean? Like, for 1 year, we need him to hit as high as possible. Like, you need the highest pick possible.
Take the thought out of it, right?
Isn't it funny too? Like, we finally get a top 10 pick, right? We need the pick, and everybody wants to trade out of it and move back to 15 and 13 and get more picks. And I mean, dude, if you have a top 10 pick, I'm staying. I don't know about you guys. I just stay there and take my guy that I want.
Never pass. I never leave it.
Yeah.
But they hit me with a first round pick next year for me to give it up. Like, you have to come hard. Like, you're not getting me for like, oh, you give me a second. Fuck you. Like, no, I want stars. And I got better chances of getting stars early if I know what I'm doing. If I know what I'm doing and have any feel for life in the game of football, I should be able to get stars in the first and second round. But for this organization, the way they've drafted, they can't get stars anywhere. So, no, you got to stay at 6 and
you have to stay at 6
and pray to fucking somebody that you nail it. You close your eyes and say, who's the best player left, guys? That's not a quarterback.
Unless a team comes, like you said, Tommy, unless a team comes and gives you an offer you can't say no to, then you move.
It's tough because in past years I would be torn and I would say, okay, I would rather have, instead of having 6 and 37, I would rather have 9, 36, and 40, for example, adding that additional high second round pick. But this is a year, and also this is a year where I could say we need volume. But God, after the years of drafts we've had, part of me wants to just to take the surefire thing at 6, if there's even one that's possible with Howie Roseman in the building. But taking that star and then go the hell to bed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, do your job and go to bed.
Use your 2/3 to get back up in the second round if you want another player in the second round. Like, or trade your third for stuff next year if you want to, for all I care. Right? But like, you're not in the position. You have 2 first-round picks potentially next year. You're not in the position to think about 1 million picks. You're in the position to hit the picks in front of you. You know what I mean? And assume you're going to be trading some other guys.
Completely agree.
And that's it. There's no other excuses. It's if you do trade out and trade back, fine. And you better then you're going to have more picks and you're going to be held to the fire to be able to hit on more picks then. So the more you want to accumulate, the more there's going to be a microscope on every pick you make. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. So it's like, how do you want it, Howie? Because either way, you're going to have the microscope. You want to have 100 picks and miss on all 100? No, you need to start getting Star Town in this building immediately. And it's as simple as that. Okay? I don't know how else to say it.
No, you're absolutely right. And, and it's funny, Rod, you said take the best guy available and go to sleep. It seems so simple. Well, it is simple to all of us, right? But these guys, they want to confuse it. They want to complicate it. And that's where they get in trouble. And Eagles, if you're watching, we're all here for you. We'll help you make the draft. We'll help you make the selection. We'll help you make the team better. Because you're obviously over the last 3-4 years haven't done that since we won. So we appreciate you. Thank you for that, for that fun time in Broad Street. We'd like to get back there. We're here to help. We'll give a little bit.
For the first time in my life, I'm not as confident even myself making the pick because they're making the pick. If that makes any bit of sense.
It does. I think there's a couple directions that you can go that you can't miss.
I agree. But I just think it's because of them that they somehow miss.
No, there's no question. In that scenario, I completely agree with you. We are absolutely taking Trey Lance.
And you know what? To be honest, if draft time does come, we all know how this works with organizations when they bring in the new guy. The guy wants the new coaching staff, they want their quarterback, not the guy that somebody drafted beforehand and the sloppy seconds, right? They want their guy. They're going to die with their guy. All I'm saying is that I hope to God at 6, when it comes to our pick at 6, we don't take a quarterback. I'm not putting that out of the world yet. Just because of how things work when new coaches come in and they want their guy.
The coach has say, and I didn't think any of us thought the coach has say here.
Yeah,
right. That's the question mark, Ralphie. To your point, like usually you're 100% right.
Yeah,
but that would be a new GM, new coach, and they sort of would want their guy. But the GM's still here who picked that guy.
Oh yeah.
They just brought
You're right.
They just brought in a GOAT coach who was on the cover of a video game because he knew Jalen Hurts personally. So that kind of tells me that that's their guy, right? That screams we're going to go with Jalen. But yet you hear the reports, and they confuse the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And when them reports came out, I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Everybody's going to connect the dots. Carson's getting dealt, and he did. So to me, I think the whole trade, looking for a quarterback at 6 is a smokescreen. Like, I think it's to try to force somebody else to come up and give them an offer they can't refuse. It's typical Howie Roseman bullshit. It's more leaked horse shit. And listen, I want to put it past them, though. Like throughout all this, I would not be surprised if we draft a quarterback and this whole thing's thrown for a fucking mess and we're all screaming and yelling and confused and upset. And then it's got to be, well, guess what? If you miss on this guy, oh wow.
So let me ask you guys this. We know the Eagles. They're going to draft one. What is the earliest round that you don't throw the clicker at the TV?
The 5th, 6th, 7th. I mean, go get 6th or 7th, 5th or above. No. Go get the best deep ball thrower of all time. Bring him back as your backup. Fuck you. Okay? Fuck you. Nate Sudfeld shit. Go bring him back as your backup, you jerk offs. Okay? You freaking jerk off organization, jerk off owner. Okay? You clown. Tell me he throws the best deep ball when you paid a guy $128 million. Then why'd you pay the one guy $128 then? Why'd you have the quarterback in the second round if you got this spinner of the rock in Nate Sudfeld, you asshole? So no, you are obligated for $2 million and let him hold a goddamn clipboard. And if you even draft one in this draft, I might throw the fucking clicker. You understand? Your factory is shut the hell down. Shut up.
Greg,
what up, T-Gang?
Just to clarify. So the drafts, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? The 3 rounds?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume so.
If I hear a quarterback's name before Saturday, every remote in the house is getting broken.
Well,
Sam Ellinger, you don't want him? You don't want Sam Ellinger? Played great at Texas.
Who?
Saturday's the second round. Then you'd be
No, it's not. What?
yeah.
No, Friday's the first. Saturday or Thursday's the first.
Mm-hmm.
Friday,
second and third.
Yeah, no, I thought it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I forgot that it's
So
Thursday.
he play Franks. Come on, play in
I
Florida.
already saw it. I saw him in a mock draft for the Eagles from CBS the other day.
Saturday would be rounds.
That's Greg's boy.
4, 5, 6, 7.
That's Greg's boy. He loves Felipe Franks.
So yeah, I mean, Saturday, right? Not even the 4th, 5th, 6th. Like if you want to draft one in the 7th and like get cute with a clipboard, then go ahead. But you have so many holes that like that's not one of them. So you just got to keep throwing darts at the board, and hopefully you hit a bullseye on other positions. Jesus, my home. Like that's why it's remote worthy. Like I shouldn't hear a quarterback's name the whole weekend. Like how dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Like how dare you? Like you know what I mean? You know, it's not even right to name a quarterback. Like you blew 3 quarterbacks, got rid of one, and one's a free agent. So bring back the free agent and shut the hell up.
I'm telling you what I'm scared to death of, and that's we take Pitts in the first, and then they try to recreate. Oh my God, let's take Kyle Trask or whatever the hell is his first name. Kyle Trask.
Kyle Trask.
Yeah, double Kyle. So we'll be the Jalen and Kyle friggin' team. They'll try and recreate that.
I can't say it enough. Then we already called it last year, but if they go that direction, then they just wasted another 2nd round pick. So like I don't know what else to say. Like they're almost not
allowed DeAndre Hopkins with that 2nd round pick.
Yeah, like they're not allowed to do this. They're not allowed to. Like I don't care. Like even for Trevor Lawrence, I would say yes for Trevor Lawrence, but like you're almost still not allowed to. Like you're not fucking allowed to. Where do you get off being allowed to do this?
If we took Trevor Lawrence, we know he would be bust. We know that.
Yeah, that would be absolutely right. We trade up to 2. Jacksonville passes on him. It's like it's like draft day all over again.
Oh I know. Jesus God!
Why is the quarterback falling? What did you not? It's a character thing for me.
His teammates didn't go to his birthday.
His teammates didn't go to his birthday party.
Pretty good. Greg's on a flight right now, watching draft day. That's where
I actually might watch that movie tonight.
It's phenomenal. I watched it all.
It's a great movie.
Tease yourself, Ralph. Get down, and that's not happening.
I want David Puddy because I goddamn feel like it.
Yeah, that's Howie, but wrong. You know what I mean? Like Costner is Howie, but wrong. Like, premise, but always wrong. Like we're gonna take Jalen Reagor, and everybody's like,
I want Jalen Reagor because I feel like it.
And then blame it all on Doug. Oh, Doug liked Reagor and Hurts. Yeah, of course he did. You loser.
Yeah, instead of on his little post-it note, instead of it saying Vontae Mack, no matter what, it says freaking Kyle Trask, no matter what.
Where it said Jalen Hurts. It said Jalen Hurts, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's and you can't draft another one now. So he's either your guy or he's not.
Sarah Fuller.
Cut your kicker and take another $10 million cap hit. That'd be
probably better. She's probably better than Elliott.
She stunk.
Well, so did Elliott. Did you see Elliott?
Sarah Fuller couldn't make a 30-yard field goal. It was an absolute publicity stunt. Sorry.
Elliott couldn't make a 22-yarder. We saw that.
Ricky says Vontae Mack no matter what. Yeah. I would love Vontae Mack right now. You know what I mean? Like, give me Vontae Mack right now. How do they get under the cap, Lambeau says.
They're starting.
GM.
Yeah, fired their GM.
Burn it down.
Yeah. They're getting there. They're getting there. They'll that's why you're gonna have to rely on tons of young players. So you're in
I don't know, freeze the players' salaries.
Get all of them to retire to go to the league minimum.
Yeah, Joe.
No problem, Joe.
You need to give a lot of young players opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to then, just watch the games and expect the worst and hope that some of these younger players can show us they can play, right? Like some of the guys we've already talked about, Kayvon Wallace, Davion Taylor, Jalen Reagor, Hightower, Watkins, Miles consistently, Dallas Goedert consistently, right? Josh Sweat consistently. Okay, I mean, that's the only way around this game. And then whatever guys you draft this year.
No,
Right.
John, I don't have any mock trades available for Kyle Lowry to Philly. I'll make sure I make one up by Friday. Okay, John? Okay, John?
There
I
was.
see you over there, John.
There's one out already. It was like Danny Green. It was a bunch of shit.
I'm lying, by the way. I have two, but I'm not bringing it up. I'm not reading them right now.
It was like a first.
I knew you were lying because I knew you have them ready to go.
Of course. I did one with Ralph the other night. Ralph watched me do one.
I think it was like Danny Green, Mike Scott, Thibault, two first, and then Kyle Lowry back from them in 2 seconds. It was something like that from them. Like you get 2 seconds from them, we give up 2 first. Like I'll go with like Danny Green. If you give up Green, Mike Scott, and Thibault, I could like wrap my head around it. You know what I mean?
2 first for Kyle Lowry.
Why would? But and I'm not saying it's you, right? But why would Toronto do that if they're trying to make the playoffs?
Yeah,
they won.
Exactly. Ralph, tell the guys the one I ran by you at like 2 a.m. last night when the rumors came out that Dallas was going to trade him.
Oh my God, I gotta pull it up.
Spot on.
Pull it up.
Spot on.
That's why I'm having Ralph read them. That's why I'm having Ralph do it.
That one, that ain't a hot take. I mean, that's factual. This may be a hot take. You said Harry Rosen is doing a good job. It's not a hot take. Hot take would be saying he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
So,
Hot take would be you'd be sitting on Elliot Shores Parks' lap. You know what I mean? That's the kind of hot take that would be.
so I get this text from Ryan at 12:15 a.m.
What does the caption say?
The
What did I
caption
say
is
before?
"Fuck it."
Yep.
It's Porzingis going to the Sixers. The Mavericks are getting Danny Green, Mike Scott, Tony Bradley, Matisse Thybulle, a first round this year and a second round this year.
I'm not doing that. Porzingis will be hurricane off the airplane.
Oh my God.
Greg looks like he's thinking about it.
No.
No.
You're talking about the
threw-
guy who. You're talking about the guy who would still draft Jahlil Okafor over Porzingis if given the Wayback Machine. No shot. I'm taking Porzingis.
He's a walk-in. He's a walk-in knee injury. I'm Gooch. I'd rather have Kyle Lowry at 35. 34, somebody yelled at me in the chat earlier. Oh, my bad. You're off. Whatever. I'd rather have it because he's fucking tough as nails. I don't want no, excuse my language, but don't excuse it. I don't want no pussies. Right? Like I need toughness if I'm going out and making deals. You know what I mean? Like for the Sixers, if I'm trying to like win, right? It's toughness. Toughness. I'm looking for toughness. I obviously need ball players, but it's toughness. Porzingis ain't that for me. Not tough enough. And always banged up. We have enough injury issues.
And for transparency, I only made one there because I tried getting Ralph to say the Lakers should trade for him. So I don't want Porzingis for everyone panicking. I just saw I tried helping a friend out. I saw the Lakers lost 3 in a row, 4 out of 5 without AD. I'm like, you need a little bit more size. So I heard Porzingis was available. So I made a mock trade for there, but Ralph didn't want to do it. So I wanted to provide some unity. So I threw a Sixers one in there.
Yeah, well, fuck both of you.
Fine, I'll go back to the Bielitsa trades then. That'll be fine.
Under the radar, you're better that way. You know what I mean? Stay with the bench guys. You know what I mean? Better Porzingis than me. I'm out now. I'm out.
John, I will form a Danny Green for Luka trade scenario by Friday. That'll be my homework. I'll form one.
We'll have to give up 47 Europeans. Joel's wife. Like, what do you mean? It's too much.
The entire G League team, the rights to the G League team, just the blue coats, give them everyone.
I'll take Boogie. Boogie.
Yeah, I definitely would.
Because he can play the 4.
Yep.
And
you can go really big. You can go really big with even Toby at the 3, Ben, Boogie, Joel, and then whoever you want, Corky at the 2. Right? You can go really big.
You can go, you can get cute with stuff.
The thing about Boogie too is that I know the Nets just waived 3 players tonight.
They did. Right before they were supposed to guarantee all their contracts.
Yeah.
Really?
I think it was Shumpert, Roberson, and somebody else. I forget.
I like that. I like that. You know what I like? I almost want him to go there. You know why I say this? Joel Embiid loves eating on
Noah Vonleh.
Noah, yep.
He loves playing against DeMarcus Cousins. I almost want DeMarcus Cousins to go to the Nets because him and Joe have a good back and forth, and it gets Joe going. Remember when they did the smack on the asses a few years back?
Yeah.
Rookie year.
They're boys, but they always play like they always. You know what I mean? It's the rough battle, and he ate him up the other day, and then he got released. Right? Like he ate him up. He ate up DeMarcus, then he got his ass released.
I think that was his last game. With the Rockets. Yeah,
Joel got his ass released. So go to the Nets. You know what I mean? Fine. I mean, I don't want them to because they're good, but I mean, I'd rather start taking some of these guys so that we feel like, okay, you know, we have that bench. You know what I mean? That we have that bench.
For you guys, as far as matchup, because I think we're all confident that one of these two are going to go there. As Sixers fans, would you rather see the Nets get Boogie or Drummond?
Boogie.
Yeah, I don't think it. To me, it doesn't matter. I think Joel does both. It does well against both of them.
Who would I rather have?
No, who would you rather have like feel better going up against? Like as a Sixers fan, would you rather have, would you feel better if they got Boogie because we feel like we could beat Boogie, or would you say, oh, well, we're more worried if they got Drummond, for example?
I'm not worried about Drummond because I like that meme's the greatest thing of all time. Like, he could score 20 and get 20 boards, and it's like it didn't even feel like he played. And Andre Drummond. So like I just feel like he's so hollow with his shit that he don't scare me at all. Boogie don't scare me either because he's just been through a lot. You know what I mean? But for that Nets team, Boogie scares me more because he doesn't have to start. You know what I mean? Where like Drummond can come off the bench and he brings you value, but he's not stretching the floor. He's not doing any of that stuff. And it's not like he's an elite defender. You know what I'm saying?
Not anymore.
So, yeah, I mean, I would say Boogie I'm more scared of, and that doesn't mean I'm scared. Is that fair?
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, hit that like, hit that subscribe, comment in, tell your friends, tell your family. Let's get to. We're sort of getting here. See you now.
Yeah. Boys, I gotta run. Have a great night.
Yeah, see you,
brother.
I got like 5-10 minutes. That's it. I gotta get in for the little guy.
Same.
This is my time coming up here. What little guy do you got? The dog?
Same.
Oh no.
Same. Like you got a bedtime,
The
bro?
Xbox. He's calling.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yes.
I didn't.
She's calling.
Yeah, I didn't think that either. Hold on.
Are you staying, Noah?
No, I'm laughing my ass off at Ralphie's comment.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Ralph. I actually have to get up in the morning. I can't stay up all night and play Xbox.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I got to go to work.
That's a shame.
I got to go to work tomorrow,
Yeah, I got you. We'll see you next week, all right?
All right, brother.
He's trying to get rid of him.
I love you, brother.
Yo, let me know when they give you a paycheck to play Xbox.
Absolutely, we'll do.
Boom.
Real quick, and we're gonna wrap this up.
Damn,
Shots fired.
That's fine by me. It's all cool.
Real quick. Over under 90 games for the Phillies.
Damn it.
It's so funny because I literally have him at 90. I literally have
I'm going to go, dude, I hate to do this, but I'm going to go under. I'm going to say like 87. I'm going to say 87 this year.
Oh.
All right, we got it. 87?
Yep.
I go over every year, and we're never even close. We're going over. We're going over.
No,
We're going over.
Let's go.
Yeah, I've got 90. I've got 90 on the nose, Tom.
It's amazing.
I was right in that range. You know what I mean? I'm anywhere 85 to 95.
I like this guy.
Depending on how, you know what I mean, the rotation actually plays out.
I like this team. I feel like this team will be aggressive before the deadline if need be. I'm going over 90. I'm going over 90. And they're going to somehow be one of them, that sleeper team. There's always them sleeper teams in baseball. that like you're not thinking about in this division. And I think they could make a run for the money when you talk about the Atlanta Braves. I think we can compete with the likes of the Braves. The Mets scare me, but the Braves scare me. They both scare me. But I got us over. I got a good vibe about this lineup. And I got a good vibe about this staff. And I have a better vibe about this bullpen than I did it, even 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So the Mark, he'll be fine. The season don't start till April. You know what I mean? So plenty of
non-throwing hand, or I'm sorry, non-catching hand.
And he was hitting, like thinking it was just like just didn't feel 100% right, and he was hitting. So
Yeah.
I mean, how bad is it? It's like a small fracture. He'll be ready to go. Probably.
What up, Jay?
Ricky says under 88. I can see how people will go under. You know what I mean? Totally. But I think this lineup hits and they mash.
As long as Didi's able to get here.
Yeah, right.
He's having some visa issues. Him and a couple other guys too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, they got time, right? They got a whole month.
I think we get a breakout season from Bohm too.
What happened with Bohm?
I think we get a breakout season from him. I think he's an all-star.
Yeah, I mean, that would be incredible if he's an all-star. I mean, that's a huge jump. I mean, but it'd be about time we had young guys that made that jump. Big money Major League Baseball, them Visa guys won't be an issue. They'll be here.
I think absolutely. The last couple years we've been kind of burned when we've expected, okay, Rhys Hoskins breakout year, we really didn't see it. Scott Kingery breakout year, we definitely didn't see it. I think we finally get that guy in Bohm.
Yeah, no guys ever came up and hit like he did, though. You know what I mean? Like all them other guys, like, you know what I mean? None of them
was supposed to. Yeah, I mean, you're right, but Hoskins was supposed to.
No, I'm just making a point, like
Baby Ruth.
Yeah, like all them guys, like Hoskins had that run, and that was it. But like you talk about Kingery, like he didn't. You know what I mean? Like he didn't like.
It was all this. It was all talk. It was just all speculation.
Yeah. So to me, it's like he'd be that first guy to actually like be an all-star and be that young. You know what I mean? You're talking about what's he? 21, 22?
22.
Well, I think he's a little older now because he came out of college.
Yeah, so
I think he's 23, Tom. I think.
Right.
But the thing I love about the kid is no matter, even if he's quote unquote slumping, he always
24.
He's 24. Okay. He's always making contact. You know what I'm saying? To where he's always making contact on the ball.
Yeah, and this lineup's built that he doesn't. It's deep. And we talked about that on Sunday. We talked about that a couple times. It's a deep lineup. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a lineup that we talked about Charlie Manuel back in the day. Talk about crooked numbers. This is a lineup that has the ability to crooked number you, right? And then the biggest question mark is can Bryce Harper be a top 5 MVP candidate? Because if he is, this team wins over 90 games.
Mm-hmm.
If he struggles and he's not consistent, then I don't know. But I do know that the rest of the lineup should hit. I mean, you talk about Realmuto, Hoskins, McCutchen, Didi, Gene. I mean, these guys hit. You know what I mean? These guys all hit. So, boom. Like, I mean, these are hitters. You got a lot of full guys that can lose baseballs, can hit for average, right? So, your only weak spot and unknown is center field. And, it could be a guy who has hit before and a guy like a Dubal. You know what I mean? It could be that. And a guy like that hitting out of your 8-hole. So, I mean, you could be extremely deep. Now, can you get the outs?
Right.
It looks like you can a lot better, but,
Still a question mark.
I think as long as this team isn't an absolute disaster early on, I mean, this trade could happen before the season even starts. There's not a doubt in my mind that if Dombrowski believes that we have any chance to be a playoff team, there's going to be no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I think regardless. I mean, I just don't think he came here for bullshit.
True.
Yeah, agree.
And even kind of no, absolutely, and even kind of what you're hearing too from Harper, right? They had to resell Harper, you know what I mean? And because when you sign a guy like that, you got to, especially the way he ended last year. Not that he ended it bad, but he had real concerns, right? He had real concerns about the direction of this team, especially after signing a mega deal like he did. So to hear him, and I know it's first day of spring training. What's he going to say? No, this team still sucks again. But there's Bryce isn't a guy that does a whole lot of window shopping when it comes to talking. You know what I mean?
He seemed like a guy who went out of his way to talk about how much he loved the change. Talked about changes a lot. Talked about new feeling a lot. You know what I mean? Saying how it looks like it's a breath of fresh air now. So
you get a real manager in the house. You get rid of the nerds, right? You get
him in the closet. Yeah,
you bring in a guy who's going to try to win. Now, do you win this year? I don't know. You're up against it, but you have the ability, at the deadline to go make the right additions and figure out what you need as a baseball team. And Crum, I agree with you in terms of the bullpen. I think there's more starting pitching depth than it's given credit for. Like Zach Eflin's shown he can throw. The question mark becomes Spencer Howard, right? Can Spencer Howard be good enough, right? I don't know, right? So we're going to have to see that. Like I'm not worried about when you have two guys at the top of your rotation that can win you 15 plus games. You're in good shape already.
It sounds to me like just me hearing this, it makes me very concerned. But the way Joe Girardi's been talking about Spencer Howard, to where he's already talking about innings limitations and not trying to push him all the way, like that's extremely concerning for me. Looking at this, to where Spencer Howard this time last year was regarded as somebody who, he's going to come up. He was one of our big time, prospects. And I'm not saying he isn't anymore, but
trade him right now.
Innings restrictions and running them at 50%. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Trade him right now, then.
Exactly. And that's why I'm thinking more, this might be something to where, hey, let's just there's so many, question marks. Let's attach him in a trade and market him as a guy with a high ceiling and a lot of potential. That way it doesn't completely blow up in our faces here. Because when Joe Girardi's talking about that 3 weeks ago about innings restrictions, I'm not a fan of that whatsoever. Especially because if he's healthy, he has a spot in this rotation just based off of his potential. So
availability in the rotation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like just availability alone.
Yeah,
it's got to be a starter.
Yeah, are you really going to roll out a rotation with I like the signings, but are you really rolling Chase Anderson and Matt Moore as your 4 and 5 starters? Like,
yeah.
I mean, is that the reality? Or is Moore and Anderson, Howard and Velasquez battling for 2 spots, right?
You would hope that.
I think Spencer does win. I think Spencer wins the fifth guy this year. I think he does. That's just my honest opinion. And I think you either have the competition for the 5th. Whoever wins that, then you throw the 2 guys in the bullpen. That's just me. And I've always been ever since what happened.
Sorry, I was going to say we talk about identity, and the identity is to make a decision which way you want to go here, because you already went 1-2 with like aces, right? So you just have an identity with your starting staff. Then like you need to address before the deadline. Another ace caliber pitcher in your 3-hole, right? You know what I'm saying? And just be, hey, you know what? We can flat out we flat out have starters. Our bullpen's not the best, but they're average, right?
But we got guys that can go 7 and 8. You know what I mean? 7, 8 innings and can shut you down all night.
And Dombrowski believes in that. He made it a point in his introductory press conference to where he wants to get back to that mindset of not, hey, if he believes we have guys, which he does, that can go 7, 8, 9 innings, complete games. That's the direction he wants to go in. Not all this analytical BS that we've dealt with. Not only with the Phillies, but where we're gonna have guys go 5 1/3. No, stop. If the guy has his stuff that day, go with it.
Yeah, dude. If Aaron Nola or Zach Wheeler or whoever is on the mound that day is cruising, right? And I don't care if he's at 115. If he's cruising, dude, just let him rock. Let him go.
That's the number one thing I miss about the last when the Phillies were actually good, right? The late 2009, 8-7 around there, to where pitchers that were going complete innings or complete games, excuse me. Like that is the stuff I miss.
Yeah, and it feels like it's been a while since we've had that.
Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years. It's been 10 years.
All of baseball right now.
And I hate it. I hate it, Greg.
Disgusting.
Well, we just watched the World Series, you know what I mean? So, in a decisive game. So, I'm a guy, let a guy go. Early on, in the year, if you want to baby a little bit and you want to keep guys 85, 90, I get it. Work guys into it. You know what I'm saying? But, when you're talking about,
August and September.
October.
You better be ready to go, dude. I need you for 8 tonight.
Yeah, it's go ahead and throw 110.
Yep.
It's warmer weather. It's baseball weather. Let it fly. And especially if that's your strength of your pitching staff as a whole, right? Like bullpen starters. That's your strength. Let it go.
Agreed.
Nick Foles says, what players should we look at before the the three names I in Greg's ear about this all the time. The three pitching prospects I think are realistic. Chris Sale, Sonny Gray, and the guy from the Rockies, German Marquez. I think those three are realistic.
Good old
names.
German.
Say that again?
No, good old German.
Yeah, Marquez. Why? You don't like Marquez?
No.
Okay.
He's won me a couple fantasy matchups. Good old German.
There you go. Bring him in.
They're better than Chase Anderson and Matt Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do like the fact that they're bringing in at least veteran arms.
Yep.
In places at the minimum, maybe, and then maybe some of these guys, break camp with the team.
That any of those guys. That's not quite Bueller, Kershaw, Bauer, Price. That's not quite that, but it's close, right?
Well, it's like you're talking about the guys he talked about trading for.
The whole thing.
Yeah, the guy you talk about trading for would be good additions as your third.
Absolutely.
When you talk about you're not needing guys to be your 1 or 2, if you need guys to be your 3, then yeah, they become great moves.
No, I completely agree.
Upgrades. Now, to me, it just depends on what's easier to get, right? Like before the deadline, or even before camp, if it's easier to get, bullpen guys, then go that route. Whatever's easier for you to acquire, and then start creating some sort of goddamn identity where we're going to get outs because they're going to hit. If that lineup's healthy, they're going to hit. I don't have any concern there.
My last question for you guys, at least for me, who do you guys? And I'm interested to see what the fam says too. Now that we're a day into spring training, who do you want to be the center fielder? Like, who do you want to see win the job? Because there's a lot of guys that's obviously gunning for it.
Who do I want?
Mine's easy.
Yes.
Go ahead, Greg.
Mine's Adam Hazley. That's who I want to win the job, and I think can win the job. We need Adam Hazley as an organization to win the job, right? The number 7 or 8 overall pick needs to be on this roster and needs to be a contributing factor to this roster.
Yeah.
He can play center field. We know he can do it out defensively. Can he hit consistently? So to me, it's as Levi said, it's easy. It's Adam Hazley.
See, this is why I asked the question, because we got Double, we got 2 Moniacs, we've got 3 Moniacs, and we got the rest Hazley. No Quinn, no Roman Quinn.
All right, so hold on.
There's a reason.
Yeah, I hear you.
So go ahead, Ralphie. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with Greg too. I'm gonna go Adam Hazley is my guy as well. So he like Greg said, he should be there. He should be our starting center fielder, and it's his at this point. It's his job to lose.
Okay. So I don't disagree with anything you both just said. All right. But if I want to get really cute with it, it's on who it should be. It should have been the number 1 fucking pick. All right. That's who it should have been. Right.
Well, where's he been for the last 5 years, Tommy?
I agree with you.
Come on, man. Where's he been for the last 5 years?
That's the point. It's sad. Now, and then it should be the number 7 pick. Right, Greg? Right? That goes in Adam Hazley, who did about 278 last year. Okay. You don't get the pop numbers, but he feels like a contact guy. I want it to be Hazley now, right? Because I don't believe in Moniak. Okay.
He's crazy.
But it should be Moniak. Like, it should be like we see a Moniak break out in spring and he wins the job. and Hazley's your number 2. That's how it should be. Now, I don't think it'll work out that way. Now, who I think will win it? Who?
I have a feeling. And I have a feeling people aren't going to like it.
No, I think they split it.
Between Hazley and Mr. Herrera?
Yeah, I think the money dictates it.
That's what I completely.
If he comes to the camp in shape and ready to
That's
play.
such bullshit. That's such bullshit, dude.
Not if he
That's
can
such
play.
bullshit.
If he can play, he's going to help.
Why?
Because he
That's
does
such
something
bullshit.
different. He'll lose the baseball.
What's
Hazley-
bullshit about it?
So we're just gonna bring this guy in and just push all the young kids away.
No, you're going to
What
play.
young
And
kids
those
taking?
your two
Ralph,
center fielders.
This is the whole point, Ralph. There's no one that's taking the job.
I
There's no one that's
understand
taking
that,
the
but if
job,
it
and you
comes
owe this
down,
guy $10 million. I
who cares
completely
about the
agree
fuck-
with
who
you.
cares about the money at this point, dude?
Well,
Cares?
they're
Well,
crying because they're losing money like Texas lost power, right? They're losing money apparently. So you want an organization who just said, "Oh, I lost $2 billion," to say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to eat $10 million just because the optics."
Ralphie, I hear you.
The other guys win the job.
That's such bullshit, though, dude.
The other guys prove it then. Like, I want Hazley to win the job, but like if he split time with Herrera or Hazley played 75% of the games, right? And whatever, and you got a different look out there once in a while. If he can lose the baseball, he becomes an asset to us. And we can
He's a one-time All-Star, like it or not, right? And none of us have to sit here because I know none of us do. We don't have to sit here and agree with anything that he did, but it's over with.
Yeah, and Ralphie,
If he's here and in camp, he's here and in camp trying to win a job.
I hear you, brother, but you say who cares about the money? They clearly do because they kept him on the roster the last 2 years. They care about the money.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna push all the young kids aside, and
I don't agree with the pushing thing. It's all about
give
winning
them
the job.
2 more years down in AAA Lehigh Valley. They'll be all right.
What did
They
do?
haven't
all right.
taken it though, Ralph.
Yeah,
They've
Ralph,
had 2 years to take the job.
Has anybody in center field come out and said, like, who's won the job? Is there somebody who is a shoo-in to win the job, Ralphie?
Real quick, you're trying to win, right? So these young kids haven't come in and set the world on fire, Moniak and Hazley. So now, can Hazley still win the job? Sure. Can Moniak come into camp and look like a Major League Baseball player? Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Okay. So unless these two want to step it up, you might go to a guy that has a skill set. And when he's hot, he's hot. And if you put a guy in your lineup like that, they can get hot for a half a month, you're going to win. It's going to help you win more baseball games. Mm-hmm. So can Hazley, has Hazley shown that he can go on a stretch like that? Has Hazley shown he can be an all-star? If Herrera comes in and hits in camp, he can easily win this job because he's going to look good doing it, right? And he's owed $10 million, because he's looked good doing it in the past, and he's not that good. But the problem is he might be better than guys who were drafted 1 and 7, and that's the sad part of what this organization has been. Because if they hit on these guys, we shouldn't be having the fucking conversation. It's sad. I want these two to be pressed to win jobs this year. Yes. Like, let these Moniak and Hazley work off each other. Because Moniak looked lost in left field. Shit, I'm going to put him in center? Fuck out of here. Look like he never took a bat. Guy was like $120. Like, you ain't driving any baseballs.
I was going to say, Tom, as bad as he's looked in the field, we don't even want to talk about how bad he looked at the friggin' plate when he's
Herrera's legs are bigger than his whole body. So, I mean, the eye test in camp is going to might sell him the goddamn job. Because he's going to probably come in shape, I would assume.
Oh, he better. If not, he's getting cut the first freaking week.
Yeah, and I think guys always looks in shape, so I don't think that's going to be an issue, right? I mean,
we hear reports of it already. I don't know if he's there. He's not there yet, right?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, he's there. Yeah, we would already hear reports because
I'm sorry, he might be one of the ones because he's probably coming from Central America.
Okay,
he might be one of the ones dealing with the visa issue. But he could be there. He could have stayed around because he realized how potentially important this camp was.
Yeah, I mean, I know Hoskins was saying yesterday that he's talked to him, but I don't know if that's in person or if that's via like phone or something.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, fam. I'm not here, and nobody is like climbing from Adubel Herrera.
No, I don't want him here. I don't want him.
We all said who should be the guys, but then you factor in the cry for help with money, and them owning money, and if he comes in. And, John Lynch said he's got swag. Somebody said he's got swag. If he comes in, he hits in the spring, He probably will look better than these two.
I'll tell you next Wednesday if he plays.
Ralphie, my question, I hear you, brother, but who on the roster is a shoe-in to make the center fielder job?
I completely understand the whole job shit. I understand that. It's just that maybe, give these fucking young kids a chance. But
no, if
that's the route the Phillies are going to go down with the whole fucking not eating $10 million or not eating the $10 million, it is what it is at this point.
See, that's what we're trying to say. That's the disconnect. It's not that if Odubel Herrera gets the job, it's not going to be a product of them not giving the other guys a chance. It's going to be, okay, Hazley isn't good enough. Moniak isn't good enough. Quinn sucks or is injured again. We have to then say, okay, if it's a bidding war, not a bidding war, but they're all close, then you're going to go to money. You know what I'm saying? So if Hazley looks great, Odubel's probably not even in the conversation. If Moniak looks great, it's a moot point. But like we said, nobody really jumps off the page saying, wow, this guy definitely has the inside track. Everyone's kind of even right now. You know what I'm saying? If you kind of and I think all of our points is that if you want to label two guys with the inside track to win the job, at least at the start of it, it's Hazley because we saw what he was capable of. He's steady and he got a lot of time while also being a high, 7th overall pick. And Odubel because he's played in this league before. He's been that one-time All-Star and he's getting paid $10 million. You know what I'm saying? That's why if you want to say like a power rankings as far as good chances to win the job, I would say Hazley, Odubel, Quinn, Moniak. And I'm not even putting Kingery in there because who knows what position he's even going to be playing.
We're going to find out in a couple of weeks who's going to win this job. You know what I mean? Or start the show, they're going to win this job. So,
yeah.
Listen, boys, hell of a show.
Tommy, real quick, that 90 number you pulled out for the over-under, is that what Vegas has them at, or is that just a number that you thought up?
No, that was just a feel-good number.
Gotcha. I was just curious. And does anyone know off the top of their head where their over-under is?
I have no idea.
I would say probably like 88 to 90, somewhere in that range, if I had to guess.
Oh. I don't know if you guys want to hear the actual number.
What, 85?
80.5.
Oh, my God.
Jesus.
Wow. We have to switch to the under. Well, great show, guys.
Disrespect.
Yeah, we won't see you tomorrow night since we came on tonight, but, you'll have ATD After Dark tonight. And we want to obviously thank our sponsors for the show, Counseling Center and Family Detox. And we know many of us and our families deal with mental health and addiction issues. We are happy to support the Counseling Center and Center Detox. If you need help, please call 856-651-8117. And we're also brought to you by bodycheckwellness.com. You can use promo code A2D at checkout for 20% off. And like always, our doc, make them yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. And you can find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. For Tom Arnone, Ryan Broder, Ralph Delvecchio, Greg Wolakovic, Nate Moss, Frank Vespi, Noah Eaton, the family out there that chimed in all night with us. We love you.
Thank you all.
Alerts on. All right, turn your damn alerts on. Subscribe, like, you know the drill. We love you. We out.